What's up, everybody?
Hello,
I've
hello.
just released our first Black Friday drop, so they're live. They're live. Emerson, am I echoing through you? Did you select NVIDIA broadcast?
I did.
Why it was not echoing like this when we were in the studio for me? What the hell?
Well, we changed studio, so I would double check it.
Yeah, double check the settings. It's still going through broadcast?
Weird. Yeah, it's still a broadcast.
Okay, well, I will try not to talk loud. It's really hard for me to do that, but I will attempt.
I will. Is there a way to turn the gain down on this?
I don't know. You'd have to probably do it in Windows audio settings. I don't think, no, there's no adjustment on the mic. That's the volume for the headset. There's no adjustment on there. But yeah, so our first drop of the sale is live. We will be having at least three more drops. So we're gonna have like a limited
Yours, mine,
deal.
and Jordan's.
Yeah, so we'll have 3 more drops after this. Those will be dropping next week. We won't be doing any drops on the weekend, but this is our first drop, and you have to purchase it from this page. So if you add 2 boxes to your cart, it will not get the promo pricing. This is limited to 25 of these bundles. So the first 25, that's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. We did add a new section to the store here and we're going to keep doing this for future sales. So I have the super deals section here, and this is the stuff that's at least a minimum of 35% off or more. So if you guys are looking for stuff that's deeply discounted, this is where to look. If you're looking for like what's really good on sale, this is where the other bundles for the drops will be. I do want to note here, you can see the ABL kit shows $39.99. It's because of working with plugins that like bundle products and stuff. It's a pain in the ass. However,
every year there's
you can see
with them.
Well, and as long as the customers get the right pricing at the end of the day, that's what I'm concerned about. And this does. So if we add this, even though it says $39.99, if we go to the cart, and my page will be slow because I'm logged in as an admin, you can see there it adds the ABL kit there for $25.99. So you will get the correct pricing. If there is any pricing issues, knock on wood, we did have issues starting off, but we've completely changed the plugins we're using to a completely different vendor, tested everything, and as far as we're aware, all the pricing is working correctly. We also have other promos here that will show up. So like I'll just add a second ABL kit because I got to get at least $75. If you guys have at least $75 of other product in the cart, you will then see another special deal down here, which once it refreshes, you see here, you can also get 30% off a poly dryer kit, the full kit. 30% off the whole kit, which is usually $80. That brings the price down to $59.99. So, and that's limit one per customer as well. But you have to have at least $75 of other stuff in the cart in order to unlock that deal. So, if you guys are looking to pick up a nice filament dryer, I personally really like the poly dryers. I like the modular system. You can have one dryer, move it from box to box. And we got the deal. So, basically, you could get 2 boxes and the whole kit. So, 3 boxes total with the actual dryer for like $100. Like, that's $20 more than just buying just the storage kit, which is that's actually pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, those are all live. Yeah, so hope you guys grab them. And then once they're gone, that's it. Those drops are done. So they're going to be limited deals, limited to X amount of customers. So if you guys are thinking about getting it, you better grab it quick. We are not behind on orders. Jordan's been cranking out the orders, so everything's shipping on our normal shipping schedule, despite orders being like 3 times the volume they normally are. So, which is good. So yeah, check that out. I just sent out posts about that, and the email just went out about that first drop there. So we're gonna kick that off with a nice solid deal. I see Jim Edge Attack isn't here. DeWitt Canada, Mr. Tim, the other Tim,
Jim.
the Canadian Tim. Yeah, I thought about doing a promo where if you spend at least $100 or more, you get a free hat. What do you guys think about that? Should we do that for like a deal later on or now? I could probably set that up because I was like, we got a bunch of hats left. I actually just grabbed a new one because I don't know where mine with I have my train pins on there and my other pins, and it's gone. I don't know where I put it, which makes me really sad because it had all my pins on there. It had my Comet pin and my Remo pin. You can see. So this is what Comet does. When you guys see me talking to the dog, you can see in Emerson's camera, like this is him. He's just right here, right next to me, breathing on my leg.
Ready to go.
Just.
Oh yeah, Jim. I saw your order. I just got a message. I got 2 messages about that.
Wait, did we ship it? Because he's going to be here tomorrow. Oh, okay. I was like, he's literally going to be at our house tomorrow.
Yeah, Jordan said he's going to be pulling it right now.
Okay, cool. Awesome. We appreciate it, Jim. Yeah, Jim's coming down. We're having like a Friendsgiving type thing here. There's going to be like over 20 people here. Jim and his wife are coming down. John from Tripod's Garage is coming down. Emerson and his wife are here today with their 2 daughters and their dog, which is like Comet's buddy because they're both equally dumb. He's just staring at me like, can I get pets?
There's four brain cells between the 2.
Jim finally uses affiliate money. Jesus. Well, that's good. Let's see. What did Jim get? Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 rolls of filament. That is a monster. Wait, if Tripod's coming, I'm out. Hashtag only leg. I wonder if he actually did something with that domain name yet. Let's see. Nope, it's still parked. I told him he needs to have it redirect to his YouTube channel.
It does.
It just needs it's such a short domain. Where's my YouTube channel? Onlyleg.com. All right. Well, before we start, I'm actually going to show off. We're going to do a quick unboxing here because I'm actually excited about this product. We just got these in. These were just launched from Fetus, and we have, well, this is number 50, but we have 49 left. We will be stocking these very soon.
48 after they stock.
So I'm going to be using these on my Ender 5 Mercury builds, like my normal Ender 5s. We have 2 Ender 5s. And this little camera is just, I'm using my cell phone as a webcam through Windows Phone Link, and it actually works pretty well. But I want to check these out. So Tor's making a mount for the EVA 2 to put these on. And then we also have a Bowden adapter we made where the PC4M10 fitting goes through here. This bolts where your old extruder was, and so you can use it as a Bowden setup, which is nice. It's so tiny. Look at it. It's so cool. This is slick. We got the filament sensor. There's a filament sensor built in here. Just a nice basic filament sensor. Got the motor here. Got the little release lever here. That feels nice. This is my first time seeing this in person. We ordered these just like they look cool. Face makes good stuff. Ooh. Yeah, this does feel good. I'll let you get your dirty paws all over.
It's
I know
like
you
a-
want to check it out.
It's like a compact orbiter almost.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. So looking at the bolt holes. Oh yeah, so this goes on here. So this is the bracket tour made, so you can use it as a Bowden extruder on printers that have Bowden, which most people use these direct drive, but there's no reason they can't be used as Bowden. So look at that. Those holes line up like perfectly, Tor.
Good.
It's almost like you know what
They're-
you're doing. They
they're-
literally, yeah, like they're bang on. So
Their CAD was accurate then.
their CAD was accurate. Yeah. All right. So you got the
Alden,
extruder in
I'll
here.
set up your order here in a bit.
You got the extruder here. It's got a little 4-pin on it. Let's see here. This is cool looking. I'm excited to do a build with this. I'm going to pair it with the Dragonfly BMO hot end. So their extruder and their hot end.
Extensions for the motors.
They actually come with an extension. Look at that. It comes with an extension.
Perfect.
Let's see how long this is. Looks like this is be decently long. This might actually, I want to say this is about, no, maybe like like 2 meters. So probably about 2 meters. I don't think it's
Meter and a half.
Is that this is
That's not 2 meters. You'd be 2 meters. You'd be holding your hands out. all the
oh
way.
sorry I didn't mean 2 meters. I meant 20 centimeters. Maybe longer. We'll have to measure it. Maybe it says in their docs. I didn't actually look at their docs. Oh, and there's another cable in here. Here we go. Here's the cable for the filament sensor. It's got a 3-pin JST on it. So there we go. That works. Cool. So it comes with the cables. I mean, on longer or bigger printer builds, you'll probably have to extend it. But I typically make. So I'm not a huge fan of extensions. I know some people like them because they don't know how to crimp. You guys really should learn how to crimp. I'll go ahead and take this off. Oh, there was here. They give you a little Allen key and a bunch of screws and some PTFE for like the guide tubes. Really basic
Cool.
PTFE. It's like really, really big diameter. I probably won't use it much. But there we go. So it's a new product we're going to have in the shop. I really like Fadis's stuff, so I'm glad that we got them in. They've actually been one of the pretty like the easiest vendors to deal with. We pay them and their stuff shows up like 3 or 4 days later. They're really quick. So, but we've got the Rapidos, we got the Dragonfly BMOs, and then we also have the
8-bit. No, the conch.
the Conch. Yeah, we have the Conch Plus. That's their hot end for the bamboo. We got those in. Those are not listed yet. What's the other Dragonfly? The Creality version.
We have the BMO, the BMS, the
BMS is the
Rapido,
Creality version.
the Apis
Yeah.
2, and the conch.
Yep. So we got quite a bit of their products. So, but I wanted to show that off. We'll probably have that listed by the end of the day. Tor was working on the page to get that all going. So, but yeah, we do have quite a bit of news. We didn't last week. That's why we did the printer stream. Also, who doesn't love a printer stream? Like we didn't have
Speaking
too
of
much
printer
news.
streams, one thing we should add.
What?
What's coming for you?
Oh, my K2 shipped. And so did Emerson's wife.
And apparently, well, no, Sarah's, not mine. But apparently she did buy one. Didn't know it until yesterday. But she'll get hers before yours.
We'll see. I mean, it is coming FedEx. Anything is possible. They could deliver it to the wrong
that
state.
I would take a quick trip down south and go grab his printer.
Go steal my K2. I'm actually really excited. So I'm excited about these new extruders. I'm excited about the K2. So it's like the first time in a while I'm actually like really looking forward to doing some builds like the Mercury build with this and then getting the K2 Plus. I'm haven't spent much more time with the Ace. I will be. It's been kind of weird. We're moving into the holidays, so it's kind of all over the place because we got holiday stuff coming up. We try not to do too much stuff around the end of the year just because it's too hard with people taking time off for the holidays and just the chaoticness. So we try to take it easy towards the end of the year. But I got a couple new products coming at the beginning of next year. I got some smart home products that I'm working with Tom on. Though I'm just waiting on the parts to get here to finish assembling those and test those and make sure we don't need to revise anything. And then I got another smart home product that you guys will all be interested, that I am done with the prototype. I need to hand off the box design and the firmware, the final firmware, to the company that's going to be making them custom for us. So got some new stuff coming. All right. Let's pull up the news here. That deal is live. I'm just double checking that it actually is live. Check. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's live. There's 5 people have already bought them. There's only 20 left right now. That was pretty quick. I was not expecting to go that quick, but yeah. When is the K2 unboxing going to take place? It depends on when it gets here. And it's coming FedEx. So that could be the day it says, or maybe it could be the complete wrong address and I got to go track down a printer.
So, what date did it say?
Wednesday. It says Wednesday the 27th is when it'll be here.
We'll have to do like a dual unboxing. We'll have to set them up.
That'd be cool. Together. She's going to make you set it up, isn't she? She's going to buy it. You just got to be her printer, bitch. I mean, that's what Kristen does for me. She's already eyeballing the SV06 Ace. So, but I want to see if I can do firmware for that. Like I said, I want to see if I can strip off all the crap from the so hey, can you shut the door so that it doesn't come in here again? It's going to try to clean in here. You can lock him in here. It's fine. The robot vacuum's cleaning down here because we have a bunch of people coming over, so I figured I'd run it now. Was it Remo out there? He's like, why are you closing me out of the office?
Oh, wait, what about me?
What about me, guys? All right, let's see. Tor found a lot of stuff for our news stream today, so we actually have a lot of stuff to talk about, some juicy stuff too. You guys love the juicy stuff, the drama.
Have a good one, Jim.
Bye, Jim. See you tomorrow. All right. Let's see. So yeah, we have our Black Friday. Yeah, I'll talk about our Black Friday stuff if you guys are not aware of. So deals that you have to unlock: $75 or more in the cart, you can get 30% off a poly dryer kit. That's one per customer. We have a bunch of the copper volcano nozzle adapters. If you guys don't know what those are, if you have a printer that takes volcano nozzles, you screw this in and then you can put V6 nozzles in it, which is actually really nice. They're $1 right now. This is the drop we just did, the poly dryer box 2-pack for $44.99. Those are normally $29.99 each. So all the other filaments are all 15% off. Flex plates, magnets, and tough panels are all 20% off. And then we've got 30% off fans, nozzle, our deburring blades, and there was a couple more things. Those are also some of those are listed in the super deals. And then we have, these are all in the super deals, 40% off these 5 filaments: our black ASA, our carbon fiber black ASA, our see-through blue TPU, our blueberry field dual color matte PLA plus, and then our easy choice light purple PLA plus. And then we also have 45% off our tough tube, our regular stuff, and our bamboo. The mini tripods are 50 milliliter size of the bed cement. And then there are the 235 by 235 flex plates. Those are 45% off right now, which is the lowest we've ever sold them for.
That's what the OG Ender 3.
Well, we have both. So if you look at the super deals, we have just the dual-sided 235 by 235, and we also have the ones with the notch for the K1s and the Ender 3 V3 SE and the KE. So you can use these on, like, you can use either plate on either printer. It's just if you use the one without the notches, you just got to take those 2 little screws out. But we have both the 235s. We have a ton of those. I ordered a bunch of those so we'd have them for Black Friday because they're a really popular size. Those are $12.65. They come with a 2-year or come with a 1-year warranty, and there's 2 sides that you can print on. So you got double the life of the plate. So yeah, if you wear both sides out and it's within 1 year, you send us an email and a picture, and as long as you didn't gouge it yourself and it just wore out, we'll replace it for you.
I was gonna say, if you didn't have your Z height set right and you just right across the surface, you got a whole other side.
Yeah, well, that's not covered under warranty. Driving your nozzle into the bed is not covered under warranty, even for
No, I meant the bonus of having double-sided,
right. You
because
can
I've
have
had to take advantage.
so I guess yeah, you could have the crappy side for when you're setting the printer up, and you have the side you actually print on. There's like Emerson. So if I go to your house, I'm assuming you're gonna have. I'm looking at your plates, and there's the it'll look nice, and you flip it over, and there's your side of shame. And then two, if you guys are looking, I love these things. I use these on our printers. I use them on electronics projects. We have the 400 piece of the quick solder connectors for only $11. They're normally $20. So check it out. We got the light purple PLA for $10.79, and this is our spaghetti dual color PLA. This is a matte blue and green. It's a really nice color for only $15. So, and then after the sale, everything goes back to normal. Yeah. So check it out. I hope people like the super deal section. I figure it's because sometimes I'll go to sites. It's like I just want to see what's on the really good deals, and I was like, I'm just going to make a category and put those products into that category as well as their other ones, and then we'll hide that category once the sale's done. So yeah. So that's our sale right now. Basically almost everything else is 10% off in the shop. There's a couple products that are excluded because of other deals and compatibility issues. The poly dryer boxes are one of those. But basically almost everything else is 10% off. So all right, so let's talk about this scamming company called Loop here. This is that video where they used his video as opening, right?
Yeah, where they pretty much did like a smear video on him calling them a scam.
Wasn't that what episode did we talk about that on? Was that right here? Let's see. So we had the link. Okay, so here it's not showing them.
The last.
Let's see. Yep. No longer available. Yep. I should have downloaded a copy of that. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, so he copyright claimed it, which I would have. And then they made this post, which Jordan was very, very, very sad because he was really looking forward to seeing their demo live stream on his birthday because it's Jordan's birthday tomorrow. So make sure you guys all tell Jordan happy birthday. Go ahead and send a bunch of tickets in, and we'll assign them all to Jordan. Just say happy birthday. I'm going to make sure he applies to every single one, thanking you for wishing him a happy birthday. Can we do that? Can we do that, chat?
Oh, God.
Just send it to support@th3dstudio.com, and it'll make a ticket, and we will assign all those happy birthday tickets to Jordan so he can really feel the love and tell you. I'll do it. You guys send him a happy birthday ticket, be like, hey, just want to say happy birthday to Jordan. I will assign the ticket to him, and I'll have him reply to you guys. I'm going to laugh if he's watching. He's like, no, no.
I think he's going to call and say.
So good.
Yeah, so here, our commitment to transparency. So I don't know about you guys, but I prefer go away pop-up ads on my own site. I don't know about you guys, but if I was trying to say we're transparent, I wouldn't keep telling everybody we're being transparent. I would just be transparent. It's literally that simple. Comet, can you stop breathing on my leg? It's very uncomfortable. Go lay down. Now he's gonna go bug Emerson. Oh no, he might actually lay down. So yeah, so they're trying to say it's their commitment to transparency. So instead of being transparent and doing a live stream that they promised tomorrow, with influencers, early backers, and an audience of supporters in attendance. However, reflecting on our approach, we decided to make some changes. While we had big plans, we've opted for a more humble, behind the scenes look at Loop's capabilities. Yeah, basically, what Emerson's doing. Instead of a live event with in-person audience, our demo day will now be us creating and sharing content throughout the weekend, featuring our small team, demonstrating the machine, sharing our story, and answering questions from community. So here's what that reads, and this is just my personal opinion. So Loop, if you get a problem with this, you can stick it where the sun don't shine. My personal opinion, this comes off as we are not confident enough in our product to show it working live, so we're going to have to just post specifically selected and edited videos showing it when it rarely works. because we're not confident enough to show it off. If I had a product that I was confident in, I would damn well be getting online and doing a live stream, showing it working. And if it messes up, it messes up. If it's still a work in progress, that's fine if it messes up. But the fact that you're now tightening this down and being the opposite, you can't say here, we want to be transparent with you, showing what's exactly happening. This is the opposite of transparency. I hate when people do this stuff. Well, we're being transparent, but they're not. Just because you say you are doesn't mean you're being transparent. Being transparent would still be going ahead with the live stream and showing off the product and showing people how it works, not selectively
If it works,
posting.
it works. Why shouldn't there be a live stream?
Yep.
The only
Even if
reason
it
they're
doesn't,
not
even if
doing
it
one-
doesn't, even if it doesn't fully work, they could still show off what they have done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
And
just
that-
me. What do you
it
guys
gives
think?
It's
live
because they
stream
don't have
gives-
anything to show off. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
this reads. That's what this reads. They don't have it ready.
Well, they did show in their video that Uncle Jesse took down. They did show they had a machine, and it was extruding the plastic that they grinded down that was orange and then magically turned clear. Not sure how that works.
Hey,
Well, yeah,
hey, okay.
that's part of their transparency.
Yeah, the filament's transparent. That's what they mean. It's transparent filament. But yeah, so still, like, this is not looking good for them. I think they'd be better off just doing a live stream, biting the bullet, and telling people where they're at. That's it. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, so
Like-
this was an email they sent out to people who signed up for their list.
Yeah. So, anyways, yep. Something that I'm actually happy to see is a Core XY that's actually like repairable. And I don't hate Prusa printers. I just think that like, because I had an MK3S and it worked okay, but my thing was the price to what you got. It wasn't great, but they are repairable, and we're heading down a way where things are getting less and less repairable. And it's nice to see at least one company still maintaining that repairability, which is nice, which I appreciate. And it does look pretty nice. So
Joe actually made a few digs at not just
Yeah,
bamboo,
like-
but like the mass assembled unrepairable crap printers that are out
Yep.
there. But like specifically bamboo was kind of dug out because of their bearing thing, where you have
Yeah,
to
but-
replace the whole XY gantry top part of your
so
printer
there
just for one
so-
bearing.
yeah, so there is a
50 cent
bearing
part.
on.
$80 upgrade or $80 replacement.
So my buddy Mike, who's 3D Print Cornwall in here, he told me that basically the P ones and the X ones at around 4,000 to 5,000 hours, those bearings will just basically start to go. And on the X1E, they actually fixed that bearing. So if you want to not have a $5 part destroy your $1,000 printer, you got to pony up for the $2,500 printer because it's fixed in those. But they did not fix it on the P1, the X1. Probably for planned obsolescence. That's the only thing it's the only reason I can think of that they wouldn't fix it. If they have a fix, why are they still putting the crappy version in the P1s?
Well, they
and the
already
X1s?
wanted to kill off support for it. What, like next year or the year after? And
Yeah.
then the community gave him what for, and he was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah,
So they like, okay, we'll extend it a few more years. But it is understandably they're killing off support for it, but they're killing off quick.
yeah. Well, and that's the problem with these. And I've said this before. You can go back video from a year or more ago where I talked about how once these companies decide to kill something off, that's it. And like, there's literally things like this happening all over different industries. It's not just 3D printing. Like, look at the Spotify car thing. Literally a little device that's just meant to connect to your phone and stream music and control your Spotify app on your phone in your car. There's no reason they couldn't just let it stay working. They're killing it off next month, like completely bricking them for everybody. So even though it's still working, They're killing them. And another thing too, which I have two
About
of
that,
these.
I actually want one of those because there is a lot of open source firmwares for them now.
Yeah. So, but
Because
like
people are
this,
pissed off about it.
this is my Reverb G2. Krista has one of these. If I update to Windows 11 24H2, this becomes a brick. This headset that I paid $300 a piece for, that I bought less than 2 years ago, is being killed off by Microsoft removing Windows mixed reality support. So this computer and Krista's are both locked at 23H2 for the version because they removed WMR support, which is software that this headset needs to function. Like, and these are still nice headsets, given just like their specs. Like, they're not that old. But again, I'm tired of companies, and I think consumers need to start banding together and suing companies that are doing shit like this. Honestly, I think there needs to be class action lawsuits, or they need to buy back the hardware.
What I don't understand is big tech is supposed to be all about green this, green that, and yet they're creating so much e-waste. I don't it's so hypocritical. You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand stuff like this.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I mean, it drives me nuts. Like, I found this out I got no notification from Microsoft or HP that this headset would stop working if I update. I found this out through my brother because he has one and his wife has one of these, and he sold it and bought a new headset. I was like, no, I'm not buying a new headset. I don't use it that often. I'm not buying another damn headset when I have two here. And
They
like,
work perfectly fine.
these are hardwired into the wall. Like, I ran cords in our wall that go down this wall right here to my computer, and they're mounted to the ceiling. So literally I can just pull it down, use it, and then put it back up. So like, it's not just I can just swap this out. This is like a whole project to take this old headset down and hook up the new one. Like, honestly, like, we need to start figuring out the easiest way to sue these companies. I even filed a complaint with the Attorney General of Indiana. And mind you, HP makes the headset, but Microsoft provides the Windows mixed reality like platform and framework to build the headset around. So it needs that WMR support. And I filed a complaint because it's Microsoft that's killing it off. It's not HP. HP has no control over what Microsoft is doing with Windows updates. So I filed a complaint against Microsoft, and then they direct me to HP. HP then directs me to Microsoft, and literally it's a back and forth. So literally you have to get lawyers involved. Like, it drives me nuts. So, but like, all these companies are going to do this, regardless of what market they're in. They're going to keep trying to push for you to buy new products every couple of years because they don't make money, over and over again, making new stuff. And the whole point, coming back to where it's nice to see a company that's still sticking to their roots of being repairable and, open source. I'm assuming this is going to be open source, or at least you'll have, as a customer, have the.
They do have. Somebody
They just
asked
have
for
the
the
parts.
CAD for it, or just the panel, because on
Yeah.
the left side, or the right side is the filament. The left side is open for people to make mods for, and they're releasing the CAD for it, so people can make mods for the entire printer.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I know this is more expensive than, like the K1s. Like, you could buy, like, what's even the build volume on this? 250 by 220 by 270. So it's about the same as the K1s. Like, the K1's like half the price, but the K1's not as repairable, and like, this does look like it's probably built a little better. I'd like to get my hands on it.
When your rear Z bearing holder goes, you have to replace the whole goddamn panel.
Which they did send you one out, though.
Yes, after I went on their socials and said, hey, Creality, you don't honor your warranty. The next day I got a tracking number.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, like, I just want to give them a shout out. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Prusa printers, but I am going to give people a shout out when they're doing stuff that, is something that I think is good.
It's cool that there's an upgrade path to convert your Mark IV-S
from the MK1. That just seems like such a waste.
A lot of people just finish their builds for the kids and things like that.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, new printer. Well, $500 you can upgrade to this one as well. And that I don't think that's too bad of a price to upgrade.
I mean, I guess
and everything.
I guess if you only have room for like one or two printers, but like, my whole thing is like, I'd rather just buy the other printer and keep the other one intact, because you'll have tons of stuff left over from upgrading. Like, what really can you reuse from that? Like, obviously, like the motors and stuff, but like, there can't be too much overlap. Like, going from the bed flinger to the Core XY.
I think it's
So
going to be like the extruder, the bed, and a few other minor things. But yeah, there is going to be a lot in that kit to change over.
yeah. So all right.
And it's
Let's
good for
see.
them because they can. It's not a bunch of tooling changes for them to do.
Yeah.
There's a
I think it'll be a good
crossover
machine.
part.
Like I said, their printers are good. I don't mind having to tinker with them a little to save, like 40 to 50%. I don't mind it, but like we've worked on Prusas, they're easy to work on. They actually are fairly easy to fix. So, there is a value add to that. And overlooking that, if you're like just trying to be cheap, then go with the Chinese printers. But Prusa does make decent systems, and it's nice to see that they're
They do
keeping
support them.
I feel like they're a little late to the Core XY party. I mean, I know they had the XL, but the XL is more for if you want a tool changer. I think this is a good move for them, honestly. So, but yeah, the next one is this one, which I don't know if I shared this with audio. Let me reshare this just in case. We'll just kind of skip through this. I don't know. The funny thing is, so there's there's this like company that's trying to find or trying to make
We've
like
seen
basically
the lawmakers
something.
trying to ban
Can you
3D
guys hear the audio from
printers,
this?
try
Yeah,
to
turn it
ban
down a
printers
little bit.
capable of printing guns specifically. We've seen them try to make it illegal to have a 3D printer in the home with a minor, and we've seen them try to ban computers and computer access to minors, all in the name of stopping 3D printed guns.
Yeah, do you guys remember when I think it was in New York they were trying to make it so you had to go through a background check to or own a 3D
Buy a
printer
3D.
or buy a 3D
Yeah,
printer?
that didn't
Like,
go over well.
no, because the lawmakers are morons. So, I'm trying to find here where she talks about.
Anti-gunners know what these can be used
Let's
for, as
see.
I highlighted in a video about rebels fighting against a military coup in Myanmar and actually doing some damage. I would think that that's what they're afraid of here. 3D printed guns are rebellion, and rebellion is the
Is that a chainsaw underneath the barrel? I just noticed that. Sorry.
true spirit of America.
Can't stop the signal now.
But folks in the gun control world have figured out that printers require software. And so now they've turned to software engineers to prevent people from printing gun parts and even possibly making those printers tattle on you if you try to.
So here's the thing. Do you know how easy this is to circumvent? Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna let this play a
Open
little bit.
source Yeah,
I'm
open
pretty
source
sure-
splicers. Just don't update your firmware. Don't buy those printers.
Yeah, 3D Printer OS. That's the company, and I am aware of them because they have. It's like a cloud. Again, the cloud. Cloud is evil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3D Printer OS. I'm gonna let this play, but yeah, like, do you know how easy it is to just get around this? Like, it's no one's gonna. I'm just gonna let this play because she hits a lot of good points and puts it into perspective really well. So let this play. Hopefully she won't strike us. She has a pretty big channel, and I watch her on and off. It's Liberty Doll on YouTube, 320,000 subscribers. So this video has 118,000 views on it. All right, here.
But before I get into the details, this video is brought to you with the help of Home Title Lock.
Oh,
When it comes to security,
time to
most
skip the
homeowners
ad.
think
I
about
love the
security
preview right
measures
here.
like video camera, security alarms,
and her shirt
deadbolt.
changes.
There
There.
are currently two
That's good.
initiatives at the forefront of trying to make this snitching software. First, cloud-based 3D printing management platform 3D Printer OS has partnered with Montclair State University and their Making and Innovating for X Lab, or MIX for short, to try and create the algorithm to identify 3D printed gun parts. Print and go.
Okay, algorithm. How good is it? Should we ask Nero about how good the algorithm is at identifying real guns from toy guns?
Yeah, if he didn't block us all.
He didn't
I'm
block
not
me
blocked.
yet.
He didn't
I'm
block
not
me,
blocked.
and I'm still in his chat, and he's talked to me in his chat.
I guess I'm the only special one that got blocked then.
You are the special one. Yeah, so like one, I don't trust just the risk. Let's say you weren't even printing any firearms, because I will at some point. I have yet to make my own 3D printed firearm. But what happens when it has a thing where you're printing like a Nerf gun and it's like, this looks like a gun, and then like it calls the cops
grab
on
mine,
you. And I'm not even. And
I've printed Nerf dart guns before. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Well, for you, I mean, in Indiana, I don't really have to worry about much here because we're pretty free here. But you're in California. Can you imagine, like, the cops in California, your printer telling on you that you're printing a gun, and then you have cops show up and bust your door in? Like,
guns drawn. Yeah.
You know what I
shoot
mean?
your dog.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a dog. They'd probably try to shoot his cats. But the ATF usually likes to shoot dogs. It's okay, comment. I won't let them shoot you.
Well, they're taking out squirrels and trash pandas
in New York
now too. So
yeah. So I'll let this play. This is a horrible idea.
Raccoon.
And like, just the fact, like, let's say I was using 3D printers, because I've heard of them. I actually am familiar with them. They basically make, it's like a cloud Octoprint. It's a slicer. It's a management system. It's actually not that cheap. It's like, literally when it says book your demo now if you have like a lot, but it's basically $10 a month per printer.
2 printers. So I would be at $100 a month or so to run all my printers.
Yeah, so like they have all this stuff built in. It's all cloud stuff. Like, it's a cool the fact that they're wanting to do this, I wouldn't.
It looks like a flashy Octo everywhere.
And it's going to be, it has to be trained, and it's going to be trained on
look at
whatever
AI
you're
photos.
printing.
AI printer photos. But yeah, so like it's basically a Octo everywhere with Octoprint. I would not put anything.
And they'll have
like
access to your camera to verify.
Yep, they'll have access to your camera. They'll have access to what you're slicing, especially if you use a cloud slicer. Stay away from shit like this. Even if you're not printing firearms, the fact that there could be a misunderstanding is enough to be like, no, fuck that. I will not go anywhere near this company. So clearly, the fact that they're working with it probably tells me that there are a bunch of people that don't like guns. So, not going to give my money to somebody like that. Let's keep going here.
So, well, hang on. Will they get sent to prison if they swatter someone? Because I just learned that term today, and it's a real thing.
Oh, he didn't know what swatted means. Yeah, one of the YouTubers I watch, someone swatted him multiple times, and the guy is facing a minimum of 20 years in prison now. The FBI actually found him, so he posted a video, which is great. So, all right, let's see here.
Company has launched something called 3D Gunt, which is software that completely.
That's a horrible name. Do you know what gunt means?
Gunt?
You said guns. Do you know what gunt is slang for? I can't tell you what it's slang for on this channel. But if you look up, I'm an Urban Dictionary just to make sure, but I have heard this. Hang on. Urban. I'm pretty sure it is what I think it is. Yes, it is. Well, I guess it's an appropriate name for such a shitty idea. If you guys want to know what it is, search GUNT Urban Dictionary. It will tell you. I cannot show it on the 3D Gunt. Okay.
Blocks a printer from printing gun parts. They've compiled a list of the most commonly used printers for so-called ghost guns and plan to target those systems specifically, despite those
So how are you going to target an Ender 3 that's got a 1284 CPU and prints from an SD card? How the hell are you going to target those ancient dinosaurs? I'm pretty sure the Ender 3s have made more guns in the U.S. in the last, 5 years than anything combined. You know how many
I really see that can implement something like this is Bamboo right now.
Yeah,
because
Bamboo absolutely could do this.
You almost have to go through their cloud servers with
absolutely.
Every print,
yeah, so if
LAN mode or SD card printing.
That'd be a really good way. Honestly, I hope they do it because it'll kill their company. Because there's going to be a lot of people that are whether they're actually printing guns on it or they just don't want their printer spying on them more than it already is. Yeah, but
this sets. I think what scares me more about this is if it sets a precedence to where so now this company sets it up, and now
guess what?
companies like Octoprint have to adhere to this.
It's
in
open
order
You know
to-
what they
source.
could be doing?
It's open source. You
Yeah.
just don't put it in. You just don't put it in. Like,
But
Well-
I'm saying the ATF or feds or whoever steps in and says, if you want to continue to offer this service, you have to implement this.
yeah, Bamboo's local only mode is a shit show. It only started working 100% of the time when I rooted mine and put the X1 Plus firmware on it. And Tor can tell you, Tor, how well does your LAN mode work?
I can't even put mine in LAN mode. It refuses to connect to anything. So it's, if I want LAN mode, it's walk my ass over to the printer with an SD card mode, not LAN
Yep.
mode. Like it
Yep.
will refuse to connect when right now it's printing right now perfectly fine and it's normal sending Bamboo all my prints for them
Cloud
to
shit.
send right back.
Yep. No, we run ours in local mode and it's blocked from the internet. So, but
yeah,
LAN only
what
mode did not
Beltover
work
said as
well.
They're just looking for press. They could just be making this technology so they can sell it to the highest bidder. They just want press right now so they could sell.
Well,
it to
but
the highest bidder.
But like, as any of us know, like you could mandate it's on all the new printers built, but there's open source firmwares like Clipper and Marlin that we can
Or
build.
build
You know, you
yourself
can go to
for
we can go to
DIY printers.
Menards. We'll go to Menards. I'll get some threaded rod. I'll get some 2x4s, and then we'll order some stepper motors, and we'll slap it together with an Arduino, and boom, we have a 3D printer. You know, like, yeah. So let's see. X1E, somebody. Oh, that's Mike.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody overpaid for an X1 with a heater.
Mike, I'm not paying $1,000 extra for an Ethernet port. I'd rather spend $1,000 on a Prusa Core 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's any updates on the Bamboo lawsuits right now.
No, not
but
really.
let's see if we finish this out here.
Companies not making any complaints about the so-called misuse of their hardware, according to 3dprint.com. According to the site, building on these efforts, 3D Printer OS and MixLab have joined forces to develop an algorithm to detect 3D printed firearm components based on the unique design signatures. This partnership hopes to boost safety and regulatory compliance.
Who's printing a gun on their kindergartner through 12-year-old or 12th grader's school printer?
They're like toy box printers. Oh God, the quality on those.
Oh my God, what if we did it? I'd have to do it on Rumble, but what if we did a 3D printed gun build video and we used children's printers to print the guns?
What was that one that just messaged us?
Sunlu just messaged us.
Sunlu for their printer for kids one. Oh God.
We would have to do it on Rumble because YouTube showing assembling a gun or printing a gun will get you strikes. Yeah. But we could do it on a Rumble channel or X. So,
or what's the one that all the gun tubers have right now? Pepper Box.
The Pepper Box?
Yeah, there's a new one that like
a printer?
Donut.
Oh, no. A pistol.
No, a site. Like a YouTube site.
Oh, okay. I never heard
Pepper Box
heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff they can't show on YouTube, they have it on Pepper Box.
Okay. I mean, Rumble just lets you do it. We're streaming out to Rumble right now. We stream it. I don't give a shit what alignment politically a platform has. The Tina 2 Gats. I gave my Tina 2 away, but I do have. I mean, I still got the Ender 2 Pro, which is a small one. But I will buy a kid's printer, and just for the sake of can you imagine the clickbait on that? Can a kid's printer? And you know what I could do? I could upload it to YouTube and then literally just blur out, like put a blur filter over the sections at YouTube, and then basically all you would get is like us starting the print and the rest of the video be blurred. Just have like a thing.
Like if you want to see the video, go to Rumble. Video.
Like, yeah. All right, let's keep going here. This is here. And law enforcement agencies in monitoring and controlling the distribution. Yeah, y'all government agencies, go fuck yourself. You're not monitoring what I'm printing. It's none of your damn business.
Leveraging the expertise of both organizations, the project seeks to develop a tool that can assist manufacturers, regulators, educational institutions like K-12 schools and universities, and law enforcement agencies in monitoring and controlling the distribution of potentially dangerous components. Once the algorithm is developed,
pause it for a
they plan
second.
to code the software to alert.
Do you see how they sugarcoat? It's no different than these bills when they wrap all this pork in a bill and they call it the Save Sarah bill.
Yeah.
It's about saving someone, but that's page one. The other 199 pages are we're giving $300,000 to this bird foundation and we're giving $2 million to build this bridge. To, you know what I mean? It's the
Hey,
same thing.
wasn't there a thing where they gave like
Safety, and meanwhile they're using it to spy on you completely, not just
And
for
for
this.
the whole
Spy on you completely.
school thing, the teachers or whoever's managing those like print labs, they need to be the ones checking what the people are printing on it. They shouldn't be allowing like whatever to be printed. Like it's up to them to regulate that, not some random software that's gonna false trigger and send cops.
They should be, but educators are not what they were when we went to school. I'll leave it at that.
They weren't great when I went to school.
Yeah.
Well, not any better.
Well, it makes me feel good because I work directly with like the high school and stuff here, and I can gladly say that I've been into like the schools, and our schools here in Indiana are actually pretty damn good, which is one of the reasons we moved here. All right, let's keep going. We only got a couple minutes left on
the
here.
main users of the printer that it's being used to make ghost guns, and then possibly even alert authorities. What it doesn't do is determine whether or not you're actually a prohibited person, a gunsmith, a hobbyist, or live in a free state where you can print whatever the hell you want. It doesn't.
That's us. We can print whatever the hell we want. I can open carry a rifle where I live. America.
Conduct a background check or check a license. You know, they want to invade your privacy, but only their way. There's software.
Yeah. How would you guys feel if you had to like start going through like some ID verification when you bought a printer to use the printer?
Or every time you had to do a print, you had to schedule an appointment with somebody. Like, hey, this is what I'm printing.
Or like they're like, oh hey, this is everything Tor printed. Honestly, you know what? If they come out with a printer like that, I'm just gonna have it print nothing but dicks. And that's all it is. I'm gonna find gun-shaped dicks and just print tons of it and just have a live stream and see how long until the you know.
I have the tactical test of tactical
the foregrip, the ball foregrip. Yeah,
the balls.
Yeah, if this comes out, we need to buy them and print nothing but crap. Do you have it?
Because this is a really good part. But this is for my not airsoft, but my foam dart launcher.
The
so
Nerf
I can
gun.
Just put these on there. And also, this is printed. This is in TPU, so it's flexible.
Nice squeeze. You can give your balls a tug while you're shooting.
Exactly.
Oh.
Now I want to put
doesn't
that on.
care that you've spent your hard-earned money on this equipment, have a license, or anything else. They only care about being the morality police. And to them, if you are printing a gun, you might as well be a Nazi criminal. Now, 3D Gunt has already taken their software a step further. They
she must not be aware of what gunt means, and neither are the people that
this is right up there with when Aurora Tech. I don't know. I know I've said this before.
The pecker,
the laser
pecker.
I'm like, oh no.
Mike's going, oh my god, she said it again. Let's go back.
And to them, if you are printing a gun, you might as well be a Nazi criminal. Now, 3D Gunt has already taken their software a step further. They already have their own algorithm to detect gun parts and gun files.
I can make.
Software creates a.
Hey, I got a scanner. We could print a 3D Gunt. Torch face.
A database
about
of these
eating after the
files
stream,
and blocks them all from any printer with the software on it. Doesn't matter if you have downloaded the files, put them on a flash drive, it detects them, shuts it down. It also uses AI to recognize.
Wait, so they're saying, they're saying they want to do it on the printer here, whether files are sent remotely or loaded via USB stick, which would also extend SD cards. So
that's
they're basically going
in hardware for better.
And additionally uses AI. Yeah, this is gonna be very expensive to implement, and this is going to be abused. And if you guys see any of this shit on a printer, if it does make it to a printer, just don't buy it. Boycott it.
Recognized new and modified designs to continually add to the database, and absolutely nothing could go wrong with that. And on top of all of that, it logs and keeps records of every single print job
3D
for the
hunt.
authorities with the intention of allowing them to do a full audit of every machine and see your every activity on that printer. Basically already assuming that if you have a 3D printer, you're trying to be a criminal. It also uses cameras to monitor print jobs in real time and immediately stops the printer if anything remotely gun-shaped is detected. The companies say that this is their way to ensure that 3D printing technology is used safely and ethically without banning it altogether. In reality, the software violates Americans' privacy to treat
Banning them outright. We've talked about this before. You can't ban stepper motors and linear motion components and everything else that you can build a printer from scratch with.
You can go
Just saying.
Home
Oi, do you
Depot
have
and
a
grab bunch
license
of
to buy
parts.
that stepper motor? Hey, you got a license? You got a license? Let me see a license. You got 4 stepper motors. You need 4 licenses. It's like the TV licenses.
treat them
I was
all
just
like
thinking
criminals
that.
and prohibited persons. You know, violating people's rights in the name of ethics and safety. So what we have is 2 companies making software to stop people from printing things they don't want them to print, whether they're in a state where it's legal or not. They're planning to target and market this software to some of the printer manufacturers whose models are most often used for 3D printing guns. We have no idea if those companies will pick up the software, but I'm sure that they'll be pressured into
Reality's
it
not gonna
either
fucking
by
pay for it.
special
They're too
interest groups
cheap.
or government officials. If they choose to use the software, they are probably unlikely to disclose that. So then some schmuck spends however much money on a 3D printer because they ain't cheap and gets it home, isn't able to use it, and maybe even ends up with the cops at his door, all because someone in Silicon Valley in a college lab doesn't think that you should be able to use your property in a certain way and thinks that firearms are a plague in America. When nosy busybody Karens are the much bigger threat.
And yet they're not doing this for CNC machines.
Yeah. Well,
Which
here
are-
we'll skip through this.
Which you can make a
here.
lot better gun with.
Yeah, you can make a lot better gun with the CNC. Yeah, this is just more fluff from the article. That's about it. So yeah, just wanted to cover that because I had multiple people actually send this to us. The next thing here is from this was a tidbit from Sam Prentice. Tim Tor and I were on stream on Jerry's stream, and it was pretty interesting right here.
Defending myself.
What's
I'm
going on?
British. That's what we do.
So we're I know Jerry won't copyright, right? Just listen to what he's saying here. Thanks, Xavier. Appreciate it.
the hell's my
Chat.
printer?
We always have lurkers.
Tell Creo to ship my damn printer already, okay? Dude,
They did.
They're not even talking to me at this point. There's a big problem.
Did you
in
piss
Cloud
them off?
City right now.
Did you piss them off?
We're in a contract dispute at the moment. So yeah, you know, it's kind of nonchalant, shall we say? They
He's choosing
did
his
me
words very
dirty.
carefully.
Really did me dirty over the K2.
Ooh.
They allowed
That
other
really
creators.
sucks because you're an
Yeah.
awesome promoter for them.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm under contract with them. Okay, I'm under contract with them. So we had this whole deal worked out for the K2 Plus. We started doing that stuff, and as you would have known, probably way back at the beginning when we were doing, they wanted to do this Kickstarter thing, right? The 50% off thing, and it was a disaster. So I said to them on that
Oh yeah,
stream,
I remember that. I was there.
Okay, so-
Absolutely.
So you'll remember I said right at the end of the stream, I'll only come back tomorrow if you can promise to not have these issues again. And I didn't come back because they couldn't make that promise. So we walked away from that, and my contact's like, hey, you're better off just doing content. Don't get involved with the live streams for the minute because we might have some trouble here. So I was like, okay. Now, the fundamentals of this, they had a new warehouse to install. They had new people to train. That date, the original dates were never going to be met, right? Start, middle, and end, it was never going to be met, ever.
Did you hear that? The original dates they promised for pre-orders were never going to be met. And he does explain more. I just want to stop this. Just this is the point I'm hitting on here, which I thought it was interesting to bring up here, that they basically willingly deceived everybody on the pre-orders. I'll let him keep going.
Right? There was no intention of those dates being met. Then they had all
So
this
the
other
pre-order
drama.
dates, the dates they were quoting,
No,
so they
absolutely not. No,
so they went
that.
into this
We all
knowing
knew
that they
that.
were never going to hit those dates. Seriously,
it was complete. It was an in joke, in reality when I was there in April. So bear in mind, I was there when the leak happened, and legitimately there were people running around, and I was like, "This is awkward." Like when somebody else's parents tells you off as a kid, and I was just like, "Okay, I'll just sit here then." So we move it forward a little bit. We do the Share Fest. We do all this other stuff. I come back from Chicago doing Share Fest, and they're like, "We're shipping you the K2. There's 10 creators that we're shipping it to. Here are your dates." So bear in mind, I was in the States. I traveled in and out of the States 6 times inside of that month. So I literally stayed up 24 hours some of the days to make sure I got the video done in time. So that's proper using the printer, getting a good solid sort of 14 days worth of print time out of it. Really went and did absolutely everything I possibly could. Met the dates, flew out to the States, and then she messages me and goes, "Oh, by the way, you might have heard, but we're stalling the release." And I was like, "Why?" And then a couple of days later, printers started to arrive in Canada. Okay. So I was like, "Well, can I put the video out now?" And she was like, "No, because, this, that, and the other." So Nathan and various other people just put their videos out. Now, fair play to them because they're not under contract. I'm under contract. Okay.
yeah. So you can't just release the video.
No. So if anyone else, and even advisory offer some really large creators, and who I know and knock around with, they were like, "Just put it out. What are they going to do?" And I was like, "Look, I've got a contract. I've got a written contract that I've signed."
Yeah, so he's just talking about this, and basically where they screwed him over is they wouldn't let him release his video until a certain date, which means he missed out on all those affiliate sales, which is part of the contract, is he gets affiliate sales. So then that's huge. Like, you're talking thousands of dollars he lost out on because they wouldn't let him post the content before all the other people, which is crazy.
Like who?
They
And on
did
top of
that
that,
for-
lying about the release dates. Like, they knew they weren't going to hit them. It was like a joke.
Jonathan
Which is insane to
Levi,
me.
I think it is. Like, he got kicked off Bamboo. I think it was Bamboo's content creator program because he released his video early before everybody
Yeah.
else. Because generally,
Well, because they're all
you
in the
have a set
contract.
time. Yeah, you have a set time, set date where everybody who's sent out a printer can send or can launch your video. So it's like a fair fight for who gets the views, who gets the affiliate sales,
Correct.
and whatnot.
Because if you're not first, you're last, basically, is how it works in this day and age.
Yeah.
That's basically how it works. If you're not first, you're last.
Luckily for him, like he was saying, this isn't his only thing going on. He has other
Yeah.
income, so it's not detrimental. But some people, this is their job. This is their livelihood. And that screws them over. So if it was other people, they'd be just completely screwed over.
Yeah. I am checking. We will be taking Q&A submissions. I have none in the queue right now. So if you guys want to ask questions, go to Q&A.
Oh, I forgot to say something.
TH3Dstudio.com. What?
I was gonna say the banner, but you were saying something. I completely
Yeah, the
lost track
banner.
of
The
that.
banner's up. Oh, we got one happy birthday email for Jordan. I'm gonna go ahead and assign that to him right now. And tell him he's got tickets he needs to get back to. All right. The next one is actually pretty interesting. Look at the little SVO8 Mini.
Exciting news for fans of.
All right, pause it and open up the video more so we can look at the specs. So, close the ad.
Okay, so 1,000
The
milliliters
build-
a second, 152. But
These small
0.4
printers can actually go
cubes.
really fast. So yeah, that 152.4 cube is exactly 6 inches.
Okay.
So that's why it's a weird build
Yes,
size, but I still don't
it
understand
is
it.
a 150 by 150 millimeter.
I mean,
similar
I'll buy it.
design
It
to
looks
the
cool.
Voron V0, but larger.
Like
Look at it,
300 to
we got
400 bucks.
linear rails on the Z, on the X and Y. It looks like maybe on the Y. Yeah, on the Y too.
Features.
Dual independent
Yeah,
Z.
yeah. Look at there's the rods on the Y here. You can tell it's a prototype because this is a printed duct. They typically do injection molding.
Current sensor for bed leveling, so none of the issues that
Yeah, and they're using an eddy current sensor for the ABL.
Scan the bed. Cool.
This is a cool little
I heard y'all
printer.
like perfect first
Right?
layers.
I'm excited for it.
The
I
door
love
is
my
actually
V-Zeros.
made of glass.
Glass
It is a
doors.
prototype, but eventually
It's
it will
wait,
have
it's
all
glass,
injection
but look at
molded
it.
parts
It's
as
clear
a
glass.
prototype glass. The door is actually
It's got a
made-
slight tint to it.
It's a little bit, but it's not.
It looks good.
Like
I'm curious to see. I'm gonna say this is probably be like 400 to 500 is what I would say. So
well, he at the end he has like 300, 450, so under 500 bucks. So that's gonna be good. I hope it's like $399 or something like that. That would be
we'll see.
really great.
I'll probably be buying one. It looks cool.
Well, I
all
love
right.
these smaller printers because they're great for prototyping like small parts, like the
Hey, Emerson.
like the Apus 2 mount that I did. Popping one of those off on a small printer is
Oh, yeah,
nothing.
for
I
really
don't have
quick
to heat
stuff.
up the whole room. It doesn't take
Yeah.
as long to heat up.
It is not anything glass is not Uncle Jesse proof. I did offer, and I'm dead serious. If he got back to us on X, I tweeted him. I said, "Hey, can we send you one of our K1 doors, and I'll take it and put it in my laser cutter and etch his
I
logo
think we
into
should
it.
just do it. We have his address.
Just send it." Yeah, I do have his address because he's bought stuff from us. So we sent him things years ago. Unless he's not still at that address, he could have moved.
Yeah, he probably.
But yeah,
lives
hey,
there now.
look at Rat Rig is working on commercial machines. Emerson, look at that. They got tons of time.
He
to
sent
work
me
on
this
other
picture.
things.
Yeah. And the link.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, they're working on commercial machines.
And they're at Form Next. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand in order for a company to survive, they need to market themselves and push the brand. But when your brand is currently stumbling over a huge
Hurdle
launch,
to get things
yes,
off.
Sorry. Maybe you not announce this right now. Probably not a good look.
Yeah, this is interesting though. They said that now 2/3 of their sales are the largest size printers. So people are looking for large size printers. I know they are. They're hard to find. I mean, we've literally just built.
Well, that's
a
why
large size printer.
that's why I'm building mine.
On the Discord, it's the majority of the people on that unofficial Discord channel where I got
the
doxxed
500
are the 500s. Yep.
So here, this is actually really cool. I'm going to open this bigger. Oh, I know the 3D printing Belgian.
Yeah.
I open his Twitter. Yes, this was an unfortunate at the Big Tree Tech booth.
So both Tim and I have the Nomis, and both Tim and I have had the connection issues. The Wi-Fi isn't the best on it.
No, they're not great.
It's not
okay.
It's not needed to be functional.
So here,
yeah, actually, mine right now is not connected.
So, check this out.
Turn down the
This
volume on it.
This is the Ender 5 Max, which is looking like basically a newer, like a 5 Plus replacement, which is interesting because the 5 Plus, they're still selling that printer by their standards.
Updated it.
Yeah, by their standards, that's an old printer, so I'm not surprised to see this coming to market. It looks good.
Actually, a Core XY this time.
Yeah, it looks solid. I'm hoping it's good.
You'll be able to use the CFS with it.
Maybe. It's probably running Clipper. I'm willing to bet it's got a tool head board in it. It looks like it's running their like Nexus pad or whatever, or what do they call their Nebula pad? It looks like it's running the Nebula pad. If you look at the screen, I don't know if it pans back out, but like right here, that looks like the Nebula pad, which is, it's okay. It's not great, but it's better than nothing if that's what they're using.
Mikey
but yeah,
did get his printer, parts of it.
So that's it. That's all the show notes. You guys have anything else you want to talk about till I check the questions here? And also, if you guys want, if you're watching this now or post show, if you're watching on a record, you can go to shownotes.th3dstudio.com. That'll take you directly to all of our show notes for all of our shows, and each episode has its own episode number, so it's easy to find which one is for which episode. So, oh yeah, and today is our 3-year anniversary. Feels like so much longer. I kid. I'm very happy with her.
Happy
Otherwise,
That's right. I get to watch the baby while you guys
yeah,
go.
we were like, oh, I'd like to go out to dinner, but we have, Olivia's only 5 months old. And I was like, wait, the quarters are coming in town, and Emerson loves the baby, so we'll just leave him with a couple bottles of milk and some diapers, and then I'm gonna take her out to a nice dinner. Probably going to Cooper's Hawk tonight.
What's
Do you
funny
want me
is
to bring you guys stuff back?
when I came in and I peeked there on the couch and I was like, Olivia, she's like looked at me and she's like, oh, I know I'm getting picked up now.
Yeah, Emerson just steals her. She'll be like in her bouncer just chilling. He's just like, yoink, baby.
Also, there's only 7 left of the 2-pack of the poly dryer box.
Really? Holy shit.
Yes.
I was expecting those to last a little longer.
Nope. Or they're gone.
Maybe if we have some left after the 2 packs are gone, maybe I'll do another drop at a slightly higher price. I didn't want to clear them out too much.
Your fucking dog is drooling. There's a drool spot on the floor.
He just loves you, Emerson. There's a drool spot? Really? Yeah, my name's
He
Comet.
a happy dog. He a happy dog.
My name is Comet, and I love you. He's not bugging Emerson since Hey, Comet, you want treats? Emerson has them now.
And then there's poor Remo lock.
He's literally on the other side of the door. You can let him back in. I think the vacuum's done.
Sad boy.
He's so sad. He's on the other side of the door. I didn't want the robot vacuum coming in here while we were I think it says it's still running. Wait, it says please empty dustbin. I think it's still running. Hang on, let me
Just
check.
stopped in the middle of the room, waiting.
Yeah, sometimes if it gets stuck on something, they're nice, but they're not. No, oh, it's charging to continue, so it's refueling.
I need to get
right
mine
now.
set up again and clear out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, let's check questions here, see if we got anything in the responses. You guys are so quiet. There's no submissions. Is it working? Q&A.
Yeah, boss, I'm going to be working on this
No, it's
a bit more
working.
this weekend.
You guys are just quiet today. Just
Ooh,
quiet.
I can give people update on my rat rig.
Yeah, go ahead. Here, I'll make you big. Go ahead.
I got it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the question is, will my K2 be here in printing before your rat rig is done? Being built.
Oh yes. No,
Yeah.
I've been taking it kind of slow, being
The
real
dogs are
meticulous.
all over you now.
I got nothing. I got the 500 and the hybrid. So I've been really taking my time because I know, especially as you get with the bigger frames, squareness is it's an absolute must. So pretty much as I'm building the frame, I got a machinist square, constantly checking, tightening stuff, constantly checking. And then there's just some things that are, and it's not a slam against the design or anything. It's just like routing the belts, an absolute fucking nightmare. And the thing's huge. I sent the guys a picture of my 4-year-old standing inside the frame, and she.
I can pull that up if you want me to show it.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But I like it a lot more than my Voron 2.4. I think I even if I had a Trident, I'd like it more. Where they lack big time, and it's very irritating, is their documentation is fucking awful. And God forbid you bring that up in the Discord, you're going to get jumped on by a pack of wolves. But a lot more people are starting to go into the Discord and say, hey, this documentation's fucking rough. So it's getting to the point now where even the cheerleaders, they're getting overpowered. And I understand they're busy, blah 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 blah. But when you launch this motherfucker, where are we at? 7 months ago, back in April, your documentation doesn't need to be perfect, but it shouldn't be as fucked as it is. So thank God for the Discord channel for helping. Basically, I've been reading through it, kind of taking notes, writing stuff down. Like, okay, I need to make sure when I get to the step that I do this. Even some config things, as simple as config. Like, there's certain things, and Rat OS isn't even technically part of Rat Rig. It's kind of a third party.
Here you go. Here's your pictures.
Yeah, it's a monster. That's my 4-year-old. That's how big that thing is. It's huge.
I didn't get to see the kid in the printer.
There you go. Air.
See, that's what I'm worried about when I build my Tridex with the mini beast.
My whole thing
Where
is
am I
like,
gonna put it?
if you're selling a kit, you should have documentation. You shouldn't be pushing it off onto fucking Discord. Like,
Well,
I don't understand.
they're not pushing it off on the Discord. So what's
Well, their
happening is,
documentation should be done, so you don't need to go to Discord to get help with assembly because the documentation is so poor.
and that's where a lot of people are starting to speak up, is like, hey, we understand it's a process, this and that, because some of those guys have been arguing, oh, well, I've put together 15 of these and this is just the way we do it, and we've been doing it since the VCore 2 or whatever. And it's like, right, but this isn't the VCore 2, it's the VCore 4, it's different. And when you have so many people who have consumers, I don't give a shit that you work for the company. You need to care about your customer and the consumer, because that's who's buying your shit, and that's the one putting it together. So when your consumers are constantly telling you, hey, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be adjusted, even something as simple as, and it's still this way today, right now, in their documentation, they list in the Z step or step, when you're plugging it in, there it tells you Z1 and Z2 are the stepper in the rear of the printer. They know it's wrong. At one point they said, well, look in the comments, the correct layout is in the comments.
Why
Well, why
haven't
don't
you
you
updated your?
Yeah,
why don't
it
you
takes
just
2
fucking
seconds to update a fucking page.
I've had
So-
customers send in. It's like, oh, this doesn't seem right in this guide. I look it over, and I fix it right there and then.
Well, that's
It's like, oh, thank you.
I was telling people in the Discord about the flex plates, Tim's flex plates, and I just happened to notice, I'm like, oh shit, this might look confusing to certain people, because the link was like 508 by 508, and then there was some old stuff at the bottom that says that, hey Tim, this needs to be fixed. It's kind of, he's like, oh
Yeah,
I'll fix
because
that
it
right
used
now.
to be the
And
main
then fixed
page.
it. Yeah, then like almost immediately fixed it. But it's like and I'm sorry if this offends anyone, this is my personal experience. European companies tend to be really difficult to deal with. It's their way or no way, and it's their idea, and they can do no wrong. I'm not saying Americans aren't guilty
It's
of it.
really interesting because their consumer protection laws over there are very, very unfriendly to vendors versus over here. I don't know if you know that.
I know. I wouldn't be able to know, because not the way that some, like Shelly's the only reason why I bought a Shelly for this printer is because they're pretty much the only company that has
Hang on,
what I wanted.
3D Print Cornwall. He's over in the UK. What has been your experience in dealing with companies over there? Are they easy to deal with, difficult to deal with? Because he's dealt with a lot of companies. I'm just curious.
That's it.
But while we're looking at that, someone did mention this about the FlashForge 85X, which I saw something about it. I didn't realize they had a multi-material system.
Oh, that's the one I was
this.
showing you where it was all shadowed out.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so here's the thing. I've never owned FlashForges. I've worked on them, and their newer ones do seem to be pretty good. Like, and these run Clipper too.
I've heard people converting like their bamboo print farms into Adventurer M5 Pro print farms.
Yeah, the M5 Pro, that's what I worked on. That was actually a nice printer. But yeah, they got their own 4-color system. So here's the thing, as I see, it's cool seeing all these like That was TPU. It said.
Yeah, it's TPU PLA.
Interesting. So as more and more of these companies are doing the multicolor, Bamboo is going to start losing their edge because, my whole thing, and I've heard other people say this, where they're not, just fanboys, is like basically my recommendation is if you really want multicolor, Bamboo is the way to go right now. But if you don't need multicolor, Creality's got a lot of nice machines that are good single color machines, and they're a lot cheaper. And you can also modify them. You can also upgrade them, where you can't do that with the Bamboos for the most part. But as Creality and all these other companies, I know Anycubic has one, Flashforge has one. I think Sunlu was working on one. Big Tree Tech has got a box they're making that'll go on printers. Like, they're not going to have that niche
Vivid,
market anymore.
I think it's called.
Yeah,
they were
there's
showing
Vivid.
it off at Form Next, but I didn't really see too much about it, so I didn't add it to the notes. Not like it working or anything.
But
Well, and that's actually so 3D Print Cornwall said they're very direct in essence. They will see your approach as quite bullish, and they're likely being quite defensive. I actually pointed that out in the Discord at one point. I'm like, I'm not trying to trash your company or anyone who's. I said, you guys, even though you guys have trashed me, I'm not trying to trash your company. I'm just trying to point out some inconsistencies. Like, I like my printer so far. I like the kit. I'm a bit pissed on some hardware that was missing and the fact that a bunch of parts that were supposed to be green showed up as black. Like, when I pay that much money for something and I had to wait an extra 2 months for it to show up, it better be pretty close to perfect. I shouldn't be missing shit. The colors should be right. You know what I mean? Like, so, but at this point, this far along in the process, the documentation should be pretty tight. I can understand a typo or, hey, you know what? Now we're starting to get some feedback. We're going to change that's fine. But there's so much stuff that's just not right that you have to go into the comments. And that's the platform I like that they're using is the fact that each step there's a comment section. So as soon as you go to a step and you see there's 12 comments, you're like, all right, fuck, before I start this this step, let me open up the comment section. And then when you see that many comments, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to follow the directions in the comment section because what they provided was a fucking disaster.
Well,
and
I don't get why like why these companies just don't fix stuff, especially if it's on a website. You can easily edit web pages, like very easily. Like,
this isn't their website. This is a platform specific for creating instructions. It's called,
DocuWiki or Wiki Dozoku. Is it Dozoku? DOZUKOKU or something like that. Is it Dozoku or something? Yeah. That's super easy to modify.
Oh, and they've admitted that because I asked them, not being a smart ass, I'm like, oh, so is this platform make it difficult for you to make changes? Or they're like, no, we can do it instantly. Well, then why the fuck don't you? Like, there's no excuse for this then. But then that's when they get defensive, like 3D Print Cornwall said. It's like, I'm not trashing you, dude. Like, everybody makes mistakes, and like what works for you because you've done this so many times and you
might think it's clear because you've done it a dozen times.
Yeah.
But somebody who's doing this for the first time, never building a printer, maybe this is their first printer.
It's like the Clipper documentation. Why it's unless you've set up Clipper a couple times, their document. Like, actually, I just kind of figured out a better way to put it in terms. Their documentation for a lot of these things are written as if you have done this in some capacity at some point before, and you know certain things. So, but you can't write that. Like, even like, what's up, Matt?
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Hey, hang on. Mike wants to actually join in too.
No, I sent the link. In chat.
Oh yeah, I posted. I don't know if he saw it. I'll send it to him on Messenger too. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand why they don't put more time into documentation. And then if there is an issue, like, I mean, like when we've had like just for like bugs and stuff, like there was a firmware bug we had for the Easy Board with the Ender 5. So it's a very specific one. So Ender 5 with the Easy Board V2, there was a line of code that I needed to change in order to make it properly set the Z steps. And it was like a remnant from us doing a bunch of upgrades. But I had it fixed in less than 24 hours. You know, or like Emerson said, he sent me a page for the 510 plates, and it was like it had some remnants from when we used that page. We used to have all the plates on one page, and you'd select the variation, and people didn't really like that. Now they're separate pages, but there were remnants from when that page had multiple sizes on there, so it was confusing. And I immediately went and fixed it. You know, oh, he got it.
Well, and I think SKL kind of put it out perfectly. You know, they do this documentation for intermediate to advanced users, but why are you alienating a group of people? It doesn't make any sense. Like in the end, you're in business to make money, so you want as many people buying your product and getting into your product,
Promoting it, yeah.
Clipper, yeah, even for Clipper, like okay, yeah, it's freeware, blah blah blah, I get it, but the more people who pick up on Clipper, the more popular you're going to get, and then more donations that come in and support and all this other stuff, and then you start gaining people who might not necessarily be into 3D printers, but you know what I mean. You start gathering all these extra people, but instead you read the Clipper, and this is where I'll give Marlon a lot of credit. Marlon's documentation is much clearer. There's still certain things where I'm not a programmer, so I
Yeah, it's not perfect.
way better. Yeah, but it's a lot better than Clipper, because Clipper basically assumes you know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, no, I'm going to the documentation because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So you just putting a list of commands, that doesn't mean, what does that command do? That command is giving me a problem. It's showing an error in the console. What the fuck does it mean? And what am I doing wrong? And then you go into like Discord or whatever else, and they treat you like absolute dog shit because you weren't born with the Clipper knowledge, so you're dog shit to them.
So, Mike, you were chiming in on some of the market stuff. Yeah, you have a different perspective on stuff than you're not only in a different part of the world, but you know you deal with a lot of more commercial entities. Nice F1 shirt there. Is that one of the F1 hoodies you have on? Oh, I can't hear your mics. Check your mic settings. I'm assuming you can hear us. Check. If you hit the bottom, there's like the little microphone that says mute. Oh, maybe. You should be able to select your audio input. That's what he's thinking. He's so sad. We have a sad Mike.
You just if you click the little up arrow next to the microphone, it'll give you your options.
Right here under my microphone.
He's checking. Is it muted on your headset side? Yours is muted now.
Sorry, it's me muted.
No, you're good, Matt. We can hear you. Trying to find her out. Yeah, we can't hear you. That's fine. You can test. You can just mess with it.
I'm having some trouble with my bamboo.
Oh no! Don't ever say that.
I know.
The bamboo fanboys will come and sacrifice you.
You just ruined the stream. They're gonna come attack the chat section.
Look at that.
Oh, that looks lovely.
I know. It's like marshmallow type. And my second one was the green one.
Looks like you might have a partial clog
way
going
better.
on.
Yeah, it's a clog.
Or you got crap in your extruder gears and it's slipping.
Yeah, but now
Could
my x-axis is. I'm having some issues with my x-axis.
I would take the whole hot end apart. It sucks that I don't know why you have to replace the entire hot end to fix their stuff. Do cold pull, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have our hot end, you could just change the nozzle out. All right, let's see if Mike got his. Mike, you good?
Nope.
Oh, nope. Let me see if I can. Can I share my live stream? Here. So it's gonna loop. Oh wait, I don't know if I shared audio. Let me make sure I don't share audio. Otherwise, it's gonna loop.
My problem is I run out of hot ends. So
Here, okay. So if you're in the stream here, you click the little down here, you click this, and it'll let you choose what your microphone is. And you can select your
I see
microphone.
his mic activating.
Oh, his mic is active.
You should be
There
able
we
to
go.
hear me now.
yeah,
There's your beautiful voice. So I know you were in the chat. You're probably like, let me talk.
Yeah, it's using my webcams and my audio would be terrible. But like, right,
That's fine.
European companies are a law to themselves, really. I need to mute that stream so I can hear myself. So they're very direct, like. So, I mean, the whole reason why they're sort of thinning out in numbers, and I was talking to you a little bit about the amount of printer manufacturers in Europe, like has like sort of condensed itself to a few number of people that are able to do it. So, like a lot of the European sort of market is still quite sour about the market themselves, not accepting their machines, you know, them not being at the forefront of the 3D printing industry. You know, you've got some like pretty awesome machine manufacturers in Europe, but mostly they make industrial machines. Okay? Because
Also,
like
they're
if
not
you
doing
try,
consumer stuff.
nah, because if you try and make a consumer 3D printer in Europe, right, and you
You
try
have
and
to
make
deal with
it
consumers.
European, your price is going to be too far off. Like, why would you buy? You're never going to buy something that is made in Europe or made in the UK when you can buy something that's made in China and it's half the
10
price, right?
times
So
cheaper, yeah.
a lot of European companies are very sour about it. You look at Ultimaker, right? And like every time that I talk on LinkedIn about Ultimaker, I have Ultimaker employees like ringing me up left, right, and center, trying to get me to withdraw my comments about them, right? Because in actual fact, like they're very sour about it. Like they are extremely sour about it. And you know, have they lost a huge amount of market share to China? Yeah, they have. You know, European 3D printing companies were some of the first putting printers out there for you to buy, right? There's a few UK companies that tried to do it and realized that they couldn't be competitive with the current market.
What are like the main brands coming out of Europe and UK, that area right now that
So,
that we know of, other than like Prusa's not considered. Yeah, they're part of they're in Europe. Yeah, so like there's the only one I know of is Prusa. Ultimaker they're in the US and UK, aren't they?
BCN are in Barcelona, so Spain. So BCN have got quite like a large user base across Europe and sort of.
I have heard of them. I forgot about them.
3D Gents have had quite a good like sort of relationship with the consumer market with their 3D Gents 1 and 3D Gents Double. Like you don't see it in the UK. Like no one will in this call know what that machine is.
3D
No one will know what it
Gents?
is. 3D Gents, some of the best slicers
GENTS?
that ever existed. 3D GENCE. We had like one of the industrial 420s for a while. It cost about 60,000. You know that sort of machine.
I've never heard of them.
They're great. They're a really, really good machine. Are they known in the US? No, because actually you'd make your own machine in the US like that. Because why would you ship it from Europe to USA, right? So some of these brands.
So these are big industrial ones.
Yeah, like you're not going to ship them around the world, just in the same way that you wouldn't ship water around the world, right? Like it's like by the time they ship it over there, and then it's for sale over there. If you go into the slicer, you can download their slicer. Right, is one of the best slicers actually that existed for a long period of time until Bamboo Slicer came out.
Get a quote.
So you could go on this. This is one of the best slicers actually for cutting up products that existed probably like 8 years ago. Like 8 years ago, you could have downloaded this software and cut up something and put in like, you know, fill it like anything that you needed to connect the item together. Stuff that you see now that have been released, like I think Matt, some of that Luban 3D does it. I mean, I mean that's quite a newer thing. I mean, these guys have been doing that
for almost 5 years.
Yeah, well, these big guys have been doing it for 12 years, right? So like these, so it's a long period of time that these companies have been doing things that everyone in the market thinks is new. actually, it's not new. People in Europe actually
It's been
came
in
up
the
with it a long
industrial
time ago.
side for a lot longer. Yeah.
It didn't get popularized, right? I mean, industrial build beds, like that industrial machine, the 420, uses air suction to keep your build beds down, right? Like, it's actually
Interesting.
It's the best way of keeping your build bed on a machine if you're trying to print industrial materials. Like,
Oh yeah, because it really doesn't matter how hot it gets.
yeah, it doesn't matter how hot it gets. It uses air compression to suck the build bed down. So, in 5 years,
That's
will
cool.
that be in the domestic market? Absolutely, but it can't afford to be now, right? So, the next steps for people like that. When you're using a bamboo machine, people that are using a bamboo or anything with an enclosed machine, you're printing an industrial material, and you get shrinkage, and it's not warping. People think warping's warping. It's not. It's shrinkage of the material, right? So, if you have that because your build bed enclosure isn't high enough and things like that, it can be negated by using things like air pressure on your build bed, right? So actually, instead of using cooling fans, instead of using things like that, they duct all their air out. It comes in from outside. Like not a lot of companies they've been doing that for 10 years, right? But trying to bring that technology down to fit in a 1,000, 2,000 pound box that sits on your desk is a different story, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more money. And it looks like BCN, didn't they used to have more consumer grade printers? Because it looks like they only have like
I have one of them, and it's a big brick. It cost me 4,500.
Because I thought they had small.
Metal. It's really good.
I thought they had smaller ones. Maybe they discontinued them, or I'm thinking of something else.
The W27. They basically left the market, which was about the 1,000 to 2,000 pound market, and then went into the 3,000 to 5,000
Yeah.
pound market. So they left a considerable amount of the user base, which gave them headaches, right? Because you think, right, some of these companies don't have to put up with your end of free people who don't know how to print, right? They don't actually have
They're
to
working
put up
with
those
companies,
types of people.
not end users.
Yeah, so they'll organize a training system with the reseller that sells them. So, like, a lot of this side is the reason why you have a reseller. Like, you want a reseller that actually knows what they're talking about, not that's filled with laptop salesmen that just want to make money on you, right? Like, a reseller is there to provide you with the information that you need about that industry that you don't particularly know yourself, right? So, if you're a corporation, a reseller is brilliant for you, right? Because you can beat them up every time there's a problem with the machine. And
the
that's what they're
manufacturer
there
doesn't have to
for.
deal with it.
Yeah, they get paid. They make all that money selling you that machine, right? Someone's making 20% on a $7,000 machine. I'm going to ring up and give them a headache when there's something wrong with it, right? But not many people will do that and put their name behind a brand nowadays, because actually it's quite hard to do that. Like if you're going to provide unlimited support to someone for a year, you should make sure, you're making damn good money when you do that.
Oh yeah, because it's a lot of money to employ people to talk to the customers.
And that's why building printers isn't scalable in Europe. Do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah, because the costs are too high.
How can you scale your business by using support staff that are going to cost you £50,000 a year instead of 10?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same as in the US.
And that's why Automaker are 9,000. It's not because they want to be. Do you think they want to be?
Because they have to support all that overhead.
Yeah, if they're supporting overheads, and if they want to do that way, that's fine. But they're still using Chinese parts. Yeah, and actually, well, who's the fool here, right?
Well, and the thing is too, like we at one point had 3 people that all, not including me, that just did tech support and customer service. That's it. 3 people.
Yeah,
3 people.
I did it for 3 resellers at once in the UK. 3
Yeah,
resellers.
I remember when you're talking. Well, wasn't FlashForge one of them?
No, but we did it for Box, and we did it for
oh, it was Box, the reseller. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, actually, we did it for 3 resellers at the same time. I see people, right? And honestly, I swear to God, if I go up into that email system, I talked about this a little bit before, right? If I go into that email system, the people that I see, right, talking down to people today, I will quite happily release emails, them asking me if they need to use a laser level on their build bed, right? I will start doing it. If I start seeing these nasty people in these Facebook forums, I'll show them what they look like on day one, right? Because I remember it. I've seen people come on this stream, Tim. Honestly, I've seen some people come on this stream from the UK that thought they knew a lot about 3D printers, and actually, I
And they're
knew
taking. Then they
only
take their
one.
level out, their bubble
And
level,
they
and put it
were
on the bed.
toxic as hell when they broke their machine and didn't want to admit it, right? So honestly, like, I should start name dropping because these forums are full of people, right? So people that have lasted long and endured the pain, there's not many of them, right? There's not many service providers in the UK that have endured the pain, because actually it's quite hard when you've got someone in
There's
the
not many, and I'm surprised there's not many 3D printing companies that will even service printers or offer technical support. We're one of the few companies, like, there's nobody else around us for like hundreds of miles. There's nobody else. Like, people come to us, I'm like, why is this person in Ohio contacting us to fix their printer?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
Yeah, but that I'll tell you what, that extends to a lot of different industries, not just 3D printing, because people don't want to pay for service anymore, whether it's their car, whether it's 3D printer.
They do, but it's the right people. Like, those corporations will quite happily
Well,
pay for your
oh, yeah.
service,
right,
because
but
it's
I'm talking
ROI to
on
them.
I'm talking on the
front, no
consumer
way.
level.
Yeah,
On the
no way.
consumer level, people are very cheap, and I understand there's some you don't have the money, whatever, but it's almost on the consumer grade as a whole. The majority of the consumer buyers, not just this industry, don't want to pay for service. They don't think that time is money. Oh, well, I can do that myself for this much and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, go ahead. You're gonna
yeah, then do it.
Contacting us to do it.
And then you're gonna get mad when I'm charging you twice as much because I have to unfuck what you fucked up to fix the original fuck up.
Well, so it's funny you say that. There's a few guys that still repair like the pinball boards, and a lot of them will not touch your board if you or somebody else has already worked on it. It has to be completely original or have been serviced by them or someone else that they know actually knows how to do repairs. I mean, we have like, I mean, like, the other thing that sucks is like, and this is where the consumer space sucks, is that, like, people are like, we have a flat rate. I don't care if it's a $5,000 printer or $100 printer. Our flat rate to basically do a tune up and replace some parts and basically fix your printer up. It's not super screwed up, but like, it's stuff we can get done in a couple hours. We have a flat rate $100 service. I don't care what you paid for the printer. You have people like, why would I pay you $100 when I got this printer for $150? I was like, well, that's not my problem. It still takes me just as long to work.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, so the two.
We just don't take the jobs. I'm not going to lower my price just because somebody bought a cheap printer and they don't know how to fix it.
Keep
The
turning
two
it
most
down, then they'll want more
obnoxious.
money.
The two most obnoxious things that I deal with is either, well, I only paid $500, and I'm also in like the power sports industry, so boat, ATV, side by side, stuff like that. So it's like, well, I only bought this for $500. Oh, that doesn't mean that I have to sell my service to you for cheaper because you bought it cheap. Or the other one is, I'm sorry, Canadians, but, well, that's expensive. Well, I'm sorry, your money is worth half of what ours is, but this is what it costs.
You're close enough to the border.
Yes, we could deal with a lot of Canadian customers, and it's like,
I didn't know that. You should wear your Canadian hat and a flag at work.
I thought about bringing it down with me, but yeah, we've had it multiple times where it's like, okay, I know why you're here, because if you were to buy the same thing in your country, it would cost you $3,000 to $4,000 more. So don't come in here and try and screw me on the price when I already know I'm way better even with the exchange rate than what you would get it at home. So sit down and hush.
I think the only way we can get cheap printers on the market going a little bit back is here in Europe and built in Europe is if we totally automate the production line, so less human intervention as possible.
Well, but that costs millions of dollars to do. That's the problem.
Prusa did it well, but to do what Prusa did now, you couldn't do what Prusa have done now, right? Like, they were very early in the market to produce the farm.
Yep.
They were very early, and you couldn't do now what they did now. You just couldn't do it. Like, you could try, but you'd have to have a market share to do that first, in which you have to make a product and get that market share. So it's hard. It would be very hard. You'd have to scale it very, very slowly.
That's also ignoring all the other stuff you have to deal with operating in, a country that's not China, where they have good luck
That's
getting
what rules and
liability, and
regulations.
yeah, you're paying. I mean, like
Ultimately, you don't
Chinese
want-
workers make like dollars an hour, like not tens, like literally like $1 to $3 an hour is numbers I've heard from some of these factories and stuff, and it's you can't live off of that in these other places.
I got a 3D printer recently for a buddy in Algeria, right? And we were looking into it, and the N3 over there is worth 4 times the value than it is in the UK. Just to have one landed on the floor because of shipping, because of import, because of taxes and stuff like that. And that's even if it gets to the customer because it's so corrupt, right? So like the value of 3D printers in the world, ideally there should be some sort of regulation on it. I'd like to see anything under the price point of 500 quid be kind of regulated into the point of some sort of different consumer act. Some sort of
Like,
different consumer act.
yeah,
some sort
like
of
what
repair
liability?
act,
Because
because there's no
the thing is-
liability. You can't be liable for a printer under 500 quid and make money on it and still exist for them to produce a
Yeah.
machine for you to buy. You can't.
Well, the only way is having the Chinese make it, because then
Exactly, yeah.
there's yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like a lot of
What
these
with,
cheap
like-
what
But
was
for the
that?
Chinese making the parts and we assemble it over here, I mean, that's what kind of happening with car parts now. I mean,
Well, it's anybody who knows the motorcycle industry. That's not always a good move. KTM is hurting right now because they decided to move. KTM always had like CF Moto do a couple of their bikes, especially for like the Asian market because of their weird regulations and some European bikes. But now they ended up moving a lot of production over to China, and they're quickly learning what a mistake that is because of the quality of parts. Their cam lobes are one of the worst things they're dealing with right now because the cam lobes are prematurely wearing out. And we're talking within 10 to 15 hours. I can do 10 to 15 hours in a weekend on my bike. So to buy a brand new bike that I thought was Austrian, turns out the majority of it's Chinese, and it died in the woods because the cam lobes worn out.
You're not going to be
it's
happy. pushing that back to the truck.
That's crazy. Like how do they mess something up that bad?
and it's not just some of their now it's like some of their major bikes, like their big displacement bikes they're having built in China, and now they're having these major issues. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? The Chinese don't even harden their steel. Ever try and tighten a Chinese screw, the head strips right off. What do you think was going to happen?
I've gotten bags of screws from China where they don't even have the threads on them. They forgot to put the threads on the screws.
I've got them. Don't even have the threads. Don't have the socket for the top. Like okay, well, I got to go buy another set of screws because there's one that I'm missing. I'm not just going to buy one screw.
It's just such a weird position to be in the market with all these cheap printers, because like they're a good deal for people that know how to mess with their stuff, but then you got people buying them because they're cheap, and typically the people that don't spend a lot of money are usually the biggest pains in terms of customer support. And this I can tell you by like, this is not just the 3D printing industry, but like the pattern is usually the people that are the most needy, that need the most hand holding, are the people that want to spend the least amount of money. And then we have people that spend thousands of dollars with us that we never even hear from. And like, that's a commonality.
Or they spend thousands of dollars and come to your house all the time.
The best example I can think of a UK printer that really didn't do themselves any justice. Do you remember Robox 3D? Cell Robox.
That sounds familiar.
Matt,
is that Robo 3D?
You may or may not remember them. They're called ROBOX CEL Robox 3D. Right? They were a UK manufacturer of 3D printers before your time, Matt, I think. And they had a deal. They were the first company in the UK that had a deal with someone like PC World. You know PC World in the UK, Matt?
These guys
here?
Yeah, those ones on the left. They were sold at PC World, right? So where you would go buy a laptop or a desktop PC, they had them next to them for sale, right? Probably one of a groundbreaking thing in the UK, because actually for a company like that to put their name behind something is quite a big thing. Actually, it turned out terrible, and I'll tell you why. So they started off okay. They had like good sales, and their printers worked kind of okay for a short period of time. Then they had obviously the whole thing about service, aftercare, and they managed to jump through some hurdles. And I remember their Facebook group going mad at certain periods.
Are they?
So,
You said they're out of business, right?
yeah, they're fucking gone. They're
Yeah,
so fucking
yeah. Because
gone, right?
that's funny. Their site's still up. Because
And
like,
yeah, no, they're so fucking gone, right? So their production, they had like some orders coming in from people because people wanted their printers, right? So because in good old British fashion, they decided to move all their manufacturing to China, right? So they had an American user base that really wanted this printer in America. This printer almost made it to you guys, Tim. Fucking almost. If it wasn't for them,
just barely.
and the reseller in the US, right, that was supposed to be taking, I think it was like 1,000 units, right? 1,000 units they were going to pump out into America. They went bust, right? They went bust just as they received the package, right?
So they went under right when they got the printers. The reseller did.
Right.
Oh.
So the reseller. So now you got 1,000 printers kitted up for the USA market, right? Which then went on auction, right? They went on auction in the UK, right? So these are printers for your power system that are now on sale for auction. 1,000 of them boxed up, ready to go in the UK. And guess who bought them? Right, and someone I fucking worked for at the time, right? Box bought them, right? So they bought them for £31 a 3D printer. They had those fuckers on sale for 950 quid, right? Box sold them to the entire UK market.
Did they even work on? Did they even work on your power?
No,
they just poof.
They blew up almost instantly upon
Just
being
twice the
plugged in,
voltage.
right? And Box said, "That's all right. We'll give you 50% off your product. You can keep it." So they were doubling their money, right? They were selling them for 120 quid, taking 50% refund, coming away with 60 quid, still making £29 on every unit. And that was a UK company that lost control of their brand, right? That as soon as they got China to make something, they lost control of their brand, all of it.
That's wild. I had no idea. I never heard of them.
You'll get people in the chat that may have had one that may have remembered that. But I had people buying them in the UK that they were buying these printers just for the hot ends, taking the hot ends out and then putting them on Facebook Roblox for sale at 150 quid a hot end.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it because I mean the hot ends would work because those are DC.
Absolutely fine. Yeah. So some people took advantage of it, some people didn't. People were buying them off box, knowing full well they were bad, and then filing claims just to get their £60 back, making £110 on the hot end, right? And honestly,
hey, it sounded like they made money. Everybody made money on it, and all that inventory got liquidated. So
yeah, and the UK company lost their fucking business. And you see that printer that they had next to that small one, that was their next gen thing, right? And it never fucking made it. It never made it because their little one fucked up. They lost their brand before they launched their printer, which they could have actually made money on. That next one, that Roblox Pro, they could have actually made money there, right? But they fell short of the mark because they lost the control of their brand on a smaller machine, right? So, and this shit happens all day long. Like, this is happening. Like, this is why you should be regulated. Fucking anything less than a certain period of money should be regulated because you're not going to be able to control the growth in which comes with success.
Yeah, well, right? I mean, I've seen. Do you guys? Who here remembers 3D Maker Geeks? Who remembers that company?
I do, yeah.
They were a U.S. company. I printed with a lot of their stuff because, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, the cheap 3D printer filament was just garbage, absolute garbage. The cheap stuff's gotten better. It's not perfect, but it's gotten a lot better than it was. But the they were a good U.S. filming company. The problem is they got so popular, instead of just limiting their stock to what they could actually produce, they ended up getting so far behind, and then they had to run the lines faster to try to fill the back orders that the quality just went to shit, and then they went under. Like, it was really sad. I mean, growing too fast can be worse than not growing at all. You know, you can have pains where it just tanks the company.
Yeah, because some of these guys have only got one. You think some of these printer manufacturers probably only got one guy that actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like how many? Like I've had.
Well, you
Like-
know, I did the technical support for a Hungarian 3D printing company for years on their own 3D printer, and I was their customer at the start.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Giga's, not the Gigastorm, but there was like Gigabot, I think. There was a client. I can't say what the client was. I'm under NDA, but like they're a big industrial. They're a huge company, multi-billion-dollar company, and they had a bunch of these Gigabots, and they were operating them, and the company didn't have any really path forward to what they needed to print. And when they contacted them about paying them to give them modified firmware, these actually all the ones they were working with, they actually ran Marlin. So obviously I'm familiar with it. They had fairly standard electronics, and they had the source code available, but they were telling us that I guess Gigabot, they said they can't do it because they literally have one guy that doesn't even work for the company that just comes in whenever they have a new printer, does the firmware, and then fucks off and leaves. Like just an outside guy. They don't have anybody at the company, and this was a couple of years ago, so it could be different. But like basically, he told me like they just don't have anybody at the company that knows how to do firmware. They just have some outside guy come in, get it working, and then he bills them and he leaves. So there's like nobody on staff that knows how to troubleshoot the firmware or even make customizations to it, which is wild to me. That's a thing, even with a bigger company.
Because the guy that made it probably left.
Oh, like you sold off the brand or something?
Yeah, like the guy, right. I've been in this situation so many times, right? Where someone asks you to be involved with a company, you get involved with that company, you realize they're all thick as shit, and then you want to leave as quickly as you can, and then you do what you've been told to do, and then you realize that you don't really want to be working with these people, and then you leave. That honestly, that I've done that with 3D printing manufacturers countless numbers of times. Because they asked me for my opinion, and I put a price tag on it, and then we go ahead and we do some work, and they don't like my opinion, so that's fine, you know.
Yeah,
but you asked for it.
Well, it would be like when the head person, especially in an industry like this where it's still constantly evolving, you need at least one or two people on staff that actually give a shit about this and are interested in it and passionate about it, because otherwise you're not going to move forward at all. You know, I mean, it was like when I was going through all like the divorce shit, and like my ex floated the idea of me just selling the company to her. I was like, what? It's literally my name in the company, and you have no idea what to do. Like without me, there is no TH3D for the most part. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to, I'm the one that drives a lot of the stuff forward, you know, and, you know, basically it's Tor and I for the most part for new ideas, especially Tor more or less over the last couple of years, because we've been working on more stuff together. But like, if like I was gone, you could sell the stuff we have, but like coming up with new stuff is probably not going to happen, you know, or even just innovating on what we have already. Like you got to have, if you lose that key person or persons, you know, if you're fortunate,
she's not designing mounts and LCD brackets and stuff.
Well, and at the same time, what you need to be able to admit is, you know, let's be honest, engineers, whether they're mechanical engineers or software engineers, their social skills are lacking pretty hard. So,
and how many of you guys
my
who've dealt
social
with
skills are great.
I mean,
what are you on about? We're all on the spectrum. What are you on about?
That's what I'm saying.
What are you fucking on about?
So the 3D printing community just collects people on the spectrum.
Yeah. Hey,
one big
ADHD, autism. It's one big happy dysfunctional family. Okay.
I coach robotics for high school and middle school, so trust me, I understand. So it's like when you're in that position, you need to be able to admit that and say, okay, I'm the face of the brand. I'm the one who's creating. I'm the one who's developing. I should not be in control of customer service or PR, because I should not be going on to social media and saying things like, you'll hear from us when you get your tracking information, and if you have any questions about your order, that should be good enough. That's
I was
an actual
I think
summarization
I
from
think in
something I
business
heard.
you have to be professional. I think that's the standard. But let's put this in a scenario, right? This is where a lot of these corporations fall fail. Right? You're an innovator, Tim, right? It takes, like what we do here, and within the industry we innovate, right? We do innovate, and that's pretty cool. If an investor comes to you and says, I want to put some money into you, let's grow what you do bigger, right? Which is what a lot of these companies in Europe, probably a lot of them happen to them. So investors come in, they go, cool, well, look what you're doing. I want to make a return on this, right? And then suddenly you have investors that instead of you innovating on your own and by connecting with the customer and then knowing what the customer needs and then understanding where the industry's going and you're making your decisions that way, you're not making a decision that way. You're making forced innovative decisions to please an investor, which doesn't make you interested in your job. Like the
yeah,
fact
you
that
just you hate it.
most
Yeah.
innovators are yes on the spectrum, and you
Become a
tell someone on the
slave again.
spectrum that they've got to do something, and nigh on the opposite, they want to do the opposite, right? They want to do
Yeah.
the
Or
opposite.
they just disagree heavily with the decision. They're like, this is going to
course.
fuck the product. Like this is going to make
Exactly.
the product an inferior piece of shit.
For an example, I left a company once, a director's position, because someone told me to print a benchy 1 meter size for a marketing campaign. Right? I left a position, a reasonably good position, because I don't think the industry needs to see a fucking 1 meter size benchy to understand that they need to buy a 3D printer, right? I don't understand that sort of marketing direction of that. Who was that going to convince to buy a machine, right? So there is certain levels when you get to a certain level of investment and things like that, things are demanded of you, which naturally, if you let things happen, they occur a lot better. Right? Innovation occurs better if you let it untanned. If you're trying to ram innovation into something, you're only going to you're going to get false leads, you're going to get things that aren't great, not that the customer needs or wants, because they're just getting force-fed innovations that they don't need or want, right? So that's how corporations can be difficult. And that's why you want to steer clear away from investors, Tim, because it's not going to make you like your job. As well as if you put someone in charge, right? And you do want to stay in touch with your customer base and see them on Facebook, because if you disconnect from your user base, what do you have?
Well, I'm not saying disconnect. I'm just saying you need to at a certain level step back and let certain things be handled by someone. Right, you got to be professional, but when you know you're not professional or you know that's not your skill, hire someone or find someone that's already in your organization. Be like, hey, Pete, social media makes me want to just go out and smash in puppies' heads. You deal with this. You know what I mean? Like it.
So here's a great use case for AI. So check this out. So this is just a really horrible thing I would never send to a customer. But watch the beauty of AI. So I can tell it rewrite this in a more customer service tone, but still be friendly, casual, and professional. So I'm gonna hit send here. And look at this. It's great. Look at that. You can feed it absolute unhinged dog shit, and it will give you a nice customer service oriented output.
Do you ever have
it's
to
great.
use in your on the support side tool, right? Do you have to use Google Translate to reply to customers that aren't in your language? Have you
I've had it a few times in our live chat, yeah.
Well, I'm going to say to you now, it doesn't always work, because in Hungarian, I told a Hungarian man to go lick his dog bowl when he asked how to level his 3D printer. So when I was working for a Hungarian company,
his dog bowl.
Right, yeah. So I was working for a Hungarian company, and the Hungarian people didn't do all their tickets, right? And I'd do all the UK, the USA, and some bits of Europe tickets because they were easy to translate. And the fucking guy from Hungary was off for a week, so I had 1,000 people raging from Hungary. So I was like, right, I got this. Fucking Google Translate. I fucking got this shit. I can get all these people sorted, right? Oh my god, they had 20 complaints in a week about some fucking English guy trying to reply to them in Hungarian. Right?
Should I put a disclaimer in there? If there's any typos, I'm English and I'm using Google Translate, so please forgive me.
Rang me up. Chavo, his name is Chavo. He's fucking lovely, man. I'll tell you what, one of the best managing directors, CEOs I ever worked with, right? He rang me up, he said, Mikey, you got to stop. I said, what do you mean? He said, you just told someone they need to lick their dog bowl in order to level their build bed. And I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. He was like, yeah. He was like, you're using Google Translate, aren't you? And I was like, fuck yeah, I am. I've got to get these tickets out. And he was like,
I
Mikey,
don't
just
read
stop.
Hungarian.
He was like,
What do you
just
think I'm-
fucking stop.
Hang on, here's Nemo's asking the real questions here. Did they lick the dog bowl?
I fucking hate it. I mean, so like,
Okay,
things
I
so-
guess I gotta try it.
So those of you guys that have dealt so let me ask you this: how many times you've dealt with, like, I guess would apply to like 3D printing space or like any sort of technical space where you've done tech support? In chat, I want you to answer to how many times do you guys like, actually, what is your reaction when you see the beginning of an email and it says something along the lines of, well, I'm X engineer, like X being insert, I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm an electrical engineer, I'm a whatever, insert whatever engineer. What is your first thoughts when you see that in an email? Mike,
Immediate anger. Immediate.
I envision them standing in front of their build bed with a laser level every time, every fucking time, every time, laser level, just in my head, fucking beam. Done.
So I'll try and tell a real quick story. I used to work in the cable industry when I was young. I started when I was 17, back when you could lie about your age. So I learned at a very quick young age, working in cable, when you get a customer who says I'm an electrical engineer, it's going to be a long fucking day, because they look at you as some punk ass kid cable guy and they're trying to school you. And it's like, yes, you are correct. That does work with electricity. That does not, however, translate to RF signal. You can't daisy chain 16 fucking outlets and think at that 16th outlet, or even the 5th outlet, there's any RF signal left. And by the way, your cheap ass $2 gold Radio Shack splitters only pass half of the fucking frequency spectrum that this service uses, which is why you can't get half of your channels. And if you look right here, it starts at 50 megahertz. Well, the return is from 30 to 48. So you've effectively, that's why your fucking modem doesn't work upstairs at the 18th outlet, because none of these split. And they're like, what the fuck do you know? I'm college educated. I'm an electrical engineer. It's like, it's literally on the splitter. It says right here what it passes through. Here's a pamphlet that shows our frequency ranges. But I'm an electrical engineer. Ah, fuck you. Whatever. We'll send someone. But yes, the second you hear them say I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm an electrical engineer, you're like, oh god. All right, here we go. It's going to be a long day.
I mean, you can comment. I mean, me personally, when I see that, I'm like, okay, great. I got a guy that's going to be fighting me with every little thing I tell him what to do, even though I'm trying to help him. Like, that's been my experience with the engineer types.
You know, the first thing they do is going to turn that fucking thing on in the wrong voltage as well. Do you know what I mean? That's the first thing they do. First thing they fucking do. Like,
hey, at least over here, at least over here, if the voltage is wrong, it just doesn't turn on at all, or the power supply shuts off. Whereas over with you guys, if I send you something on 115, it's gonna go boom.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. That brilliant for us there.
Yeah, Tor, you've had usually if there's and I'm an engineer type, there's usually a message we see Tor typing. He's like, oh, we got an engineer, and there's a link to the ticket, and we're just like, he's trying to keep a straight face. He knows I'm right.
No, you know what I'm pulling up right now?
What?
No, not a bot.
That's not fair, because
you're gonna show
be seeing this. Do you know what I mean? You're calling them out a little bit here, because for me it's different.
This guy wasn't even a cut. This guy was. So my advice to you would deal with any company. If you're an engineer, just don't mention it. Just don't mention it at all. Don't stress out the support people. Just don't mention it. Okay. Just don't mention that you're an engineer. It's not relevant. You're not special just because you're an engineer. And in fact, I've seen more engineer types screw up stuff because they're like overthinking and thinking they know better instead of just following the directions. So just
if they tell the truth, they'll get the right answer 10 times quicker anyway. But the truth normally ends up in the customer's fault. So they don't want to. Okay, it doesn't usually end up as that. Customer's always right, of course. But like, you know, usually they've done something wrong that they don't want to tell you. and that one thing will help you solve them, but they don't want to tell you that, so
So
you have
many
to second
times.
guess it. You have to second
We
guess
are
it.
we are pretty
They
good.
get offended that you called them out.
Well,
Because you're right.
so I actually had a guy that says he was like an IBM executive, and like he was like, I'm so pissed because I read your response. What did he tell me? I'm trying to think. Hang on.
Yeah, he was mad that he got the response he got because it's like the basic check your wire kind of thing.
So here, okay, so I told him, so he was having issues with, it's a Big Tree Tech product, but it wasn't the Big Tree Tech product. So I said, you know, I watched your videos and I was like, remove that white bezel thing you printed. It's messing up the touchscreen because the touchscreen is just freaking out. Well, you had a printed bezel, which is pressing on the resistive touchscreen, so screwing the touchscreen out. And he said, you won't know this from my exchange rate, but I'm a senior exec at IBM, have been my entire career. I can't tell you how many times customer support have given me stupid, insulting recommendations like check the table or clean the contacts on the SD cards. When I read your whole remove the white bezel thing as a recommendation, I just about lost it. Except you were 100% right. I would have bet my entire paycheck on you being wrong, but you absolutely nailed this. It was the bezel. I'm speechless. I can't thank you enough. I'm printing a silly benchy test print to make sure I didn't break anything while trying to fix something, but you're the man.
Yep. Self-admission.
But we can also add some fault to that, because I think as a globally, we have as consumers dealt with the shittiest of customer service for so long, because so many of these companies
and it's getting worse from every
we don't trust customer service anymore. So when we get good customer service, we don't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? We're almost in shock, like, wait, we can understand each other. You sound like you know what you're talking about. No, I don't trust you. I don't trust this.
Customers love me.
Thumbs up.
If you can be straight up with people, they really appreciate it. Like, I think most of the time they love it if you're straight up with them.
Where's that manager? Where's that manager one?
Look at the left. I have it up. It's not the full chat that we had with them. But
you
have a nice little excerpt.
What's funny is you have to deal with some of these customers.
Your mic cut off for some reason. Yeah, here.
No, I was gonna let you talk about this, and then I'll talk about.
So this guy came in looking for.
This is our live chat.
I'll
be right back.
For the SKR3 with the Sonic bed. Well, this firmware helper was like, our firmware is Marlin based, so no, because Sonic Pad uses Clipper. But I was told it was used with Sonic Pads. Don't know who told you that, but no. It's like trying to explain to him, Clipper and Marlin are different firmware. Why would you sell me things that do not work with each other? How can I return these? I want my printer to work. I was like, well, sell a Sonic Pad, so there's that. I was like, but I bought it from you guys. I was like, okay, can I get your order number and email? 1 sec. So I got his email, checked, not one order. If you look at this order number and you go to your Amazon page from your order history, that is the same order type. That is the same order numbers you'd get from Amazon.
Hilarious.
So I was like, there's no orders under that email, and that's not our order number.
I want
to speak to your fucking manager right now! This is bullshit!
Wait. Let's bring context. Where was this guy from? He went from Europe.
It says he was from, his IP was in New York, but he mentioned Texas for some reason.
Yeah. Honestly, I did tech support in America for Craftbot for 6 months, right? When
there's me.
I do not.
Tori, you can show the whole thing. You could show everything I've said.
Here.
Maybe you can fucking help.
Well, I need a.
Not a bot.
Where did they come from? Well, since your order number is from Amazon.
Where did they come from? Oh, you pulled it down. You pulled it down.
I didn't have the full screenshot.
Okay, hang on. How do you? I honestly. Oh wait, hang on.
ShareX is what I was.
Manager. Hang on, manager. I'm gonna search manager.
I just looked for the little band icon in the chat.
So.
No, yeah, we banned him because, yeah, I don't care. So here, I'll pull the screenshot up here. Hang on, I got it.
I just pulled ShareX because I could blur out his email.
Well, while
Yeah, no,
you're pulling
mine won't have his email.
We're not
I got
going to
it
pull
right
a
here.
rat
rig.
Pull a rat rig in.
Well, I mean, he's not even my customer, so. And I hope to God he never buys from us because he's a fucking idiot. So here we go. Here's what I said here. So here, I want to speak to the manager. Hello, I'm the manager. So you see, I took over because I had chat up and I saw it and
I also
messaged her, I was like,
posted some of the messages in chat. I was like, bro,
Oh, no. Look at the third line, Tim. Fuck, you went in hard, bro. You went in hard there, bro. You went... I mean, that's fire with fire type shit. I mean, I commend
hang on, there's more. Hang on, there's more. You guys are fucking done. I'm filing so many complaints. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you too.
You are not the customer.
and blocked user.
And blocked, yeah, there's just about him blocked user.
Like he
And
had to pull up Amazon to get that order number. How did he not understand? We're not Amazon.
I know what I should have done. I should have been like, absolutely, you can return this, send it to our address, and we'll issue the refund when we get the package. I should have done that.
And then done a video on it.
I got a free Sonic pad. How I got a free Sonic pad from someone who's not even a customer. I didn't think about that. I could have. Oh, yeah, you can send it right here. As soon as we get the package back, we'll issue a full refund.
Customers, they're just unreal anymore. This was a few years ago, but it's sold.
I thought it was me fucking with him in the live chat because I've done that before.
I thought it was either Tim or somebody in our chats. Where it's like, oh, okay, who's fucking with me today?
I had a customer who bought an ATV from us, then went somewhere and bought a radiator relocation kit because he wanted to take it mudding. Bought the wrong kit, but then he bought it from some Joe's Garage online. Then expected us to return the kit and sell him the correct one because we sold him the ATV. And I'm like, I don't understand how those dots connect to your brain. I didn't sell you the aftermarket kit, which would void your warranty anyway.
What's wrong with just
return
saying
it to
no?
where you got it. Oh, I did, but that's the problem. Is you say no, and then they lose. Then they lose that. That's how he got to. Well, you sold me the ATV. You should be taking this back and get me the right one. It's like, but you didn't buy the accessory from me in the first fucking place. So why do you expect me to take back something I didn't even make any money on to turn on and then have to buy you the right part? He's like, well, I'm sure you can sell it to someone else. You know, I'm sure. I'm like,
oh my God,
that's not how this works. Like, what the fuck, people?
But when my experience of support, right, when I did support for Craftcore in America, I can honestly tell you, Tor, it's a lot harder than it is in the UK. People kick off way easier, way fucking easier.
Oh yeah,
like, the fuse is so short. It's like you've had, like you said earlier, you've had shitty customer service for a lengthy period of time, and now you expect the worst from someone straight away. So when you start the conversation, you're already on the front foot. They sense it straight away. They get on their front foot, because they don't want to
Well, you saw me. I was completely fine during all that. I wasn't going mad or anything. I was like, after he lost his shit, where Tim came in. It was like, fuck you,
Tim's
Tim.
like, hold my beer. I got this. Fuck you.
I hope it scared him away and he never buys from us because I don't want to deal with somebody that's that fucking stupid. Like that guy's stupid. There's no other explanation. Like he's completely fucking stupid.
He had to go to Amazon to get that order number.
Or he went to his email. He could have got it from his email. I think they put the order numbers in the email.
It says Amazon at the fucking top.
Oh wait, hang on. I might have a video for this. Hang on.
Well, and the other thing too is that Americans are very entitled. We have become a very entitled society, and that's where a large part of it comes from too.
I think this is maybe where he's confused. You guys remember this video I put up here?
Got an exciting announcement for you guys that you're all going to love.
No.
free tech support for Amazon customers. Did he put out the video saying how he told them to go fuck themselves?
This is April 1st. Here at TH3D, we've been selling printer parts for almost 7 years now. And throughout those years, we've had a lot of people contacting us with questions about products that they purchased from other companies. So today, we're excited to announce our Amazon support program. What is our Amazon support program? Well, it's really simple. All you have to do is purchase your products from Amazon instead of TH3D Studio, open them up, and now, instead of giving TH3D Studio a single penny, you can now contact us for help with the product you bought from an entirely different company. And how do we check to make sure you're eligible for support? You just need to send us a copy of your Amazon order invoice. Once we validate that you've purchased a product from a completely different company, we'll be happy to assist you completely free of charge, because who needs a pair of support technicians? So now, all you guys who bought Big Tree Tech boards, you can get the help you deserve without giving us a single dime. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, happy printing.
Oh my god.
This is an April Fool's joke, by the way. I just hope you know that. But people do contact us for help with products they never even purchased from us. That's why this is funny. You didn't see that?
That's fucking funny. No, I didn't see that. Big fucking love. I mean, it's clearly not a bad thing. I mean, you still, you know.
Yeah, the comments here too. It's just like, this is a nice program, very good. I don't need Amazon tech support. I am my own tech support. Do you make free house calls? Yeah, for you, yes. Very funny. So my hearing is that printer doesn't work about Amazon. I can return it to y'all. Absolutely, just send it to our address.
Hey, you had the idea 7 months ago.
I did have the idea 7 months. Do you provide discounts or gift cards if you're unable to solve your issues? Absolutely. Usually 200% more of the purchase price. There's Tor. Oh God, please.
Yes. Well, you can tell the guy didn't read, so of course he didn't watch the video.
Well, I think we're actually at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Holy crap. This was fun with you guys all on here. Michael, it was nice having you on again.
Oh, no, yeah. No,
It's pretty late by you, isn't it? Like 1 a.m.?
Yeah, like fucking one day.
Yeah.
I've recently started playing that Star Citizen game, and I've been having.
Oh, we were playing that last night. Tor has it.
Yeah, no, I've been having good fun on that actually. Yeah, so I was playing that, and then I was watching your stream at the same time, and I put down my ship and jumped on. So I got to go die again at some point in a minute.
Yeah, we did some mission last night where we raided some factory or something. We had to take a bunch of turrets, and my buddy had this Polaris ship, which is like this fucking, it's like the biggest ship in the game. It's like literally you have to buy it with real money for a fake ship. I was like, Mike, how much did you spend on this? He's like, well, it's like, I was like, I just looked it up. It's $750. He's like, well, I didn't pay it. I got a pre-order on the digital ship. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, so he spent like $500 on a ship in the game. He was a backer. He was a backer when it first came out. It's a lot of fun. It's buggy as shit, which just adds to the experience.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, the amount of times I've just been cruising along and accidentally got out my fucking ship and jumped into the oblivion of space. I can't actually tell you how many times, and accidentally hitting the ejection button seems to be fucking something I do when I'm getting out of a cockpit. But that's we're gonna get over that at some point.
I have.
Fuck's sake.
I think I have like $300 in Star Citizen, unfortunately, but it's gotten a lot better than what it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
It's fun.
Oh, dude,
they're using that money.
It's crazy how much, like, I have a 5900X Ryzen 9 with a 3090, and it makes this fucking computer cry. Like,
yeah,
I'm crazy.
I'm on a 4070, like really quite a new PC, and it's maxed out. All the fucking
Well, and the other thing is I'm driving. I got the 49-inch ultra wide here, which is literally two 2K monitors. And it's just pushing all those pixels. My brother Doug's crazy. He has the 4K version of this monitor from Samsung and a 39. I was like, how are you running the games? He's like, oh, I just run them at like, he uses the AI upscaling with NVIDIA because you're not pushing that many pixels. That's an insane amount of pixels, 2 4K screens. And like, I saw it and like, I'm 35 and I'm at the point where I was like, this monitor looks good, but like, I can't fucking see anything without scaling on. I was like, I'm just sticking with my older one because like, one, it's less pixels to push, and two, I can run at the native resolution, actually see everything. But like,
I'll send you my my ID on that.
Cool.
Yeah, no,
we play every Thursday night our time, so like we get on around 7 or 8. But Chris and I'd be down to do some earlier runs too, because and when we get on, my buddy, he's got like 3 other people, so like we had like I think 6 or 7 people last night on the ship, and we had all the turrets manned and everything, and we're just like flying in with this big ass ship, just decimating the mission.
Similar to you, one of my friends bought like a $400 ship or £400 ship, and it's got like fucking all these turrets, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just like, yeah, just going along for the ride at the minute. But it is really fun, even when you die. Like it's actually like.
So there was one time I was climbing up a ladder while they were going into like the. It's not called warp drive, but the quantum leap. He was doing a quantum leap.
Oh, you pinged around the fucking shop.
I ended up somewhere in the middle of fucking space, and I had no idea where I was. I clipped through the ship, and I'm sitting here because we're in Discord. It's like, hey guys, I'm not in the ship anymore. They're like, what'd you do? I was like, I literally didn't do anything. I was climbing up a ladder, and now I'm in space, and it's like mildly terrifying because I'm like sitting here looking around. I was like, I'm just, there's nothing around me. And of course I had all my shit on. So like, they're like, well, they tried to come back and get me and they couldn't find, I was like, I'm just going to kill myself and respawn. I was like,
it's fucking fun. It is actually fun. Like one of my friends, he seems to like, he's one of those guys that's going to fucking throw a bag of Fenta at a ceiling fan on a game, right? He's just one of those fucking guys who just wants to kill himself all the time. So we're fucking driving along, he's in the back of the ship.
Find a way.
I'm like, just sit down on the fucking bed in the back of the ship. We got the starter ship. Sit down on the fucking bed in the back. We're going in sea. And then I hear the back door open, and he's like, "Wee!" I'm like, "Ryan, no! I'm fireman, no!" I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Come get me! Come get me!" I'm like, "You're fucking falling at 1,000 meters a second. I can't fucking get you!" Like, oh my god, I think it's real funny. Everything about the game.
So apparently there's a brig on this ship that my buddy had. This is what we were flying in last night. This is the Polaris. It's huge. It's like a 6 to 12 crew ship. Like, yeah, literally, it's if you buy it, it's just $750. But it's crazy. But it also has a brig with a gas chamber, so you can put bad guys in there, lock them in there. And so I had never been on this ship, and his buddy, we're like, where's the med base so we can set our spawn point to spawn back on the ship? He's like, over here. He's like, oh, here, it's right there on the bed. And there's a bed in there, and Chris and I both go in there, and the room starts turning red, and there's gas coming out. He's like, this is the gas chamber. I was like, you fucker. But he let us out. He was just, I was like, you jackass. Okay, the ladies are getting hangry, so we should wrap this up. It was fun. I could hate bullshit with you guys forever. Yeah. So
yeah, no, nice to see you, everyone. And nice.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. It's always a good time hanging out.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. Sure. Hopefully you had a good time, Matt. Hearing all the banter. Popping in the peanut gallery. We bring the peanut gallery on the stream with us. Can heckle us in real time.
Global stream.
We are. This is a global stream. Look at this. Wow.
Eastern time zone, although I'm in the central right now. Central time zone, Pacific.
Yeah. Hey, let's get a European support engineer on next time. Let's fucking find a European company support engineer, and then
he's gonna be like twitching. He's like, "What do you guys want to know?"
Grief the fuck out of him, and let's see what he's got to say. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to hear from them. You know, European.
All right, guys. Cool. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. It was a pleasure hanging out with y'all. I'm not going to hang out after the stream ends, so I'm just going to dip out. I'm going to go. I get to bug him in person. He's here. Here, I can even throw shit at him. All right, guys and gals. Thanks for watching. As always, happy printing. Enjoy the sale. The next drop will be on Monday.
I think there's one poly dryer kit left.
Is there the Duke back? We have more than what we have. We just allocated a certain amount of stock for the promo because obviously we're cutting into our margins, selling that cheap. So quite a bit, almost down to cost. But hey, I genuinely like doing the sales. It's fun for me coming up with promotions and stuff. Like I enjoy it. So, all right, everybody,
Is there one left?
support the channel. If you want to support the channel, go to th3dstu.com, buy some filament parts, whatever. We got tons of stuff. So check it out, and thanks for watching. As always, happy printing. Hope you guys all have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye now.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.